We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Socal Real Estate Expo. This is the first Socal Real Estate. It's an annual one. So basically, I created this with the intention of creating this annual show. Actually, let me go ahead and check my feed, making sure that I got everything dialed in. Okay, cool. So it's 11:58, so we're going to give it another 2 minutes, and then we're going to bring up the first speaker. But I got an amazing event for you guys, so thank you guys for tuning in. We got Ciera Sims, Hector Benavidez, Elmer Morales, Anthony Nguyen, Ricardo Acevedo, Danny Navarro, Annette Fraley, Alan Forniss, Rosie Rodriguez, Joseph Trujillo, Angel Garcia, and Danae Abali. So powerful speakers, all do business in a different way, which is how I envisioned this event. And the intention, again, is to bring massive value to our real estate community. That way you guys are empowered and you guys know how to do business in today's market. Because would you agree that the real estate industry has shifted significantly right in the last couple of months? So it's definitely a time to reassess and re-strategize and retool. And we already have 14 of you that you guys have already logged in. So thank you guys for coming on the live here. But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and bring on our first awesome speaker to kick off the show here, Miss Ciera Sims. So let me go ahead. 3, 2, 1, boom! Welcome to the Socal Real Estate Expo. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing outstanding. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today with us.
Absolutely. You can't ignore Leo. That's something I learned, huh?
All right. Exactly. Hey, you didn't know you had the first time slot. You're like, wait, you're kicking.
I didn't. No, I didn't. I thought you said 12 to 2, or I don't know what I thought, but yeah, then first time slot. I'm like, yeah, 12's fine. That works.
Very cool. Well, that means you're gonna set the bar high, and then everybody else is gonna have to elevate too, right?
That's the plan.
So we got 15 minutes. All right. So okay. I want everybody to get connected with who you are. So go ahead and share with everybody your story. You know, how long you've been in the business, how did you get in?
Yeah, definitely. So so before real estate, I was actually a bill collector. So that was that's the reason why I'm not scared to prospect or be on the phone, because that's all I did 8 hours a day. For people with no money, now it's kind of people with some money, right? Or maybe.
Right.
So it's definitely a different ball game, and there's a lot more reward to what I do now opposed to then. So so that's where I came from. Before then, I actually got into the business. I was recruited by my past broker. He said, wait a minute, you're a bill collector during the day and you bartend at night? That's like you're a people person and you call people all day? That's exactly what real estate is. You should try it. Obviously told him he was nuts, recruited me for about 4 months, and then I finally got my license. So
wow.
That
when was this, by the way?
4 years ago. So 2015, December of 2015. So actually this year will be 5 years in December.
Wow.
That I've been in the biz.
Well, welcome to the industry.
Thanks. I know it feels like it's been a long time. A lot has changed. You know, I'm a mom now. I wasn't before then. So
yeah, exactly. Congratulations.
A lot of things in 5 years, that's for sure.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I mean, you definitely are able to have different perspective because you come from those industries and you come into real estate. You're like, yeah, you can apply who you are, and obviously you've been extremely successful at it. So just tell everybody, what kind of success you've been experiencing here. You've been in the business 5 years. So what have you done as far as production, just so everybody gets a little bit more understanding of what you've done here over the years?
Sure. Yeah. So year 1 and year 2, just kind of starting off, I want to say I did, maybe 12, 13 deals year 1, 17 deals year 2, and then it's been consistently 30. So about 11, 12 million is my average for the last 3 years.
Wow.
So that's probably about 35 units is my average now a year.
Wow.
So just really being consistent, I mean, it's progressively gotten better and better and better every year, which it's supposed to, because, the more houses you sell, the more referrals you get, the more, even things that you learn, mistakes, good, bad, meeting people like you, connecting with an amazing, EXP. I mean, just being able to collaborate with other people. I mean, that's really taken my business to a whole another level in the last 3 months, just by meeting all of these wonderful people. So it's going to get better and better. And I can anticipate probably closing somewhere around 45 transactions this year.
Nice. So 45 transactions. And you also have your daughter, which I see her all the time on your Instagram and your Facebook. She's beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
You know, I think you're outstanding. I mean, you're crushing it in the business. You're a single mom. I mean, you're taking action on a daily basis. I mean, you're just an action taker. So I think it's very cool for everybody to understand, what made you have this kind of mindset, right? Like, what is it? I mean, if you give us maybe a list of books that you've read, or what was that shift for you in your life?
Yeah, reading definitely helped too, because I will say I never even with my first year of having that kind of production where I sold, 30 units or so, I didn't even read that year. I didn't even start reading until the last 2 years. And that's really just skyrocketed everything for me. So wow. A couple of good books that I read is really just trying to dissect, people as a human and really connecting with them on a personal level, because at the end of the day in real estate, if somebody likes you and thinks that you're somebody that they would hang out with outside of the business world, they're always going to use you, right? So there's a book called Exactly What to Say by Phil Jones, and that one was really good because it just it just gives you a lot of little tips on how to connect with people to get them to agree to making the right decision when it comes to using you and or just making the decision to purchase in general, because it's a smart investment move. So that one was really good.
And then one that again, please, that way your audience knows. What's the book again? I'm sorry.
Exactly What to Say. And you know what? There is a real estate version of that. And that's not the one I read. I just read the basic one, but there is a real estate version one out there. But I just kind of wanted to go back to the, just to the OG one and see what that was. So yeah, Exactly What to Say by Phil Jones.
Okay. Thank you. That's the golden nugget. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, and that one's a pretty short read too. So read or listen, whichever you do. It's not very long. But there's another one that I'm in now, and this one is really, a lot of the times, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I have all these little quotes. I know that Leo, you've been seeing some of them, and
I love it. I
have to stop, but this one I'm doing Audible, and I have to stop and write these quotes down every time because it connects so much with what we do for a living. And this one's called The Wealthy Gardener.
The Wealthy
Gardener.
I love the title. I love it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wealthy Gardener. Basically, the whole premises to the book is that nothing comes overnight. If any of you have gardened, or I haven't, but I can imagine how long it takes to make something come from dirt and seeds to what people do, and how much time you have to spend in the garden and how much time you have to spend nurturing it. It's the same with our business and your pipeline, right? You have to nurture it. You have to stay top of mind. You have to make sure people know that you're still alive, right? Yeah. And that's how you really,
that's
really.
Awesome. I love the book title. I mean, that's something I've always believed in. It's just think like a farmer. You have to think long term and building relationships, and you're doing it right, which is hence why you're successful, right? You're taking care of people. You're in their world. You're coming from contribution, and now it's expanding. And I'm pretty sure that you're getting referrals as a byproduct. And if you can walk through people and let them know, kind of like percentages or where you see your business coming from.
So I will say I actually just did, I'm super analytical. So I just did the numbers the other day, and right now with all the current ones that I have either sold or are in escrow, 63% is from social media.
Wow.
So
63%.
53% is from social media. Wow. or social media referral, right? Like somebody will message me and, hey, Susie Jones was talking, about buying a house, and I sent her your information. But that's still coming from how they saw me on social media, and that's it. So just really coming from a place of value, because nobody cares when you say, oh, just sold. And that's not what the point is. The point is to tell the story of where this family came from, because it's not easy to buy a house. It's not easy to make the decision to sell. And so really tell the story of how they were able to accomplish this goal, and tying the emotion to that is what people like to see, because it's familiar to them. A lot of people have been in a hardship. A lot of people have had bad credit. A lot of people have rented for 10 years, right? I was one of them. So, right. So really to just show people that it is possible to do it if you put the time in. Mm-hmm. But 3% has been social media, and then of course some of the referrals and regular cold calling, prospecting, door knocking, open houses. I do miss those because I love my face to face. But we'll get back to that.
Absolutely. What time do you wake up in the morning? That's just a question I had for you. What time do you wake up?
5
o'clock in the morning. So you have like a clockwork every single day.
Oh, every day. Yep. Because that's the only time, as a single mom, that's the only time I get me time. because my little one is 3 years old. So she's mommy, 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 and jumping all over me the second she's awake, because now she has lots of energy too, right? So that's the only time I get me time. So I take that time to do my morning stretches or workout and kind of rotate that now. That's something that I've been doing recently. And then obviously my audible, getting ready, taking a shower, meditation, that kind of thing. So I just have at least 2 hours of just quietness for myself.
Nice.
So
yeah, before the entire world starts to get, start to request your time and your energy, right? That's so key. That's so key. And walk people through your day. Walk people kind of like where you're like, what does a day in your life look like in business?
So I do another book, The Miracle Morning. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of that.
I love it. Yeah.
So that one's good. That's something that I start off with. I have a glass of water and my phone is in the bathroom so that when my alarm goes off, it makes me get up and go into the bathroom.
And get out.
So that way I can't shoot. Yeah. So that, chug a glass of water. I'd like to take my shower first because it kind of wakes me up, gets me in that go mode. And then I'll either do a little workout or a stretch, something like that. And then get ready. And while I get ready, obviously it takes girls a lot longer than you, Leo. But then I get ready and I listen to my Audible, and that's at least an hour every single day, accompanied with breakfast and that good stuff. And then when my daughter wakes
up, my beard,
Well, yeah,
I still got to do my beard and every day,
That's true. When my daughter gets up, I actually wake her up, and I wait until she's awake to do our affirmations, because I have a 3-year-old do it with me in the mirror.
That's awesome.
So
Maybe can you share some of the affirmations? What are those affirmations? Maybe the top 3.
So the top 3 is I'm going to call somebody that's willing, ready, and able to work with me today. Right. That's one of them. And then I tell her, I am the best mommy and you are the best daughter, to make her repeat that. And then they would be foolish not to use us as an agent, something like that. So, yeah. And then we are beautiful. We always make her say that one a good 3 times, before we leave for the day. So she kind of chuckles. She's 3. She doesn't really get it, but she will. I mean,
she's getting it for sure.
Now it's routine. So she laughs and okay, mommy, I am beautiful. So I'm like, no, you got to say it again. And we stand there in front of the mirror. So,
that's beautiful.
So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
I love that. Well, also, going from that now, share. I mean, you already did. You said social media, right? The top, because obviously there's a shift. Everybody's kind of concerned about this whole shift. So, what would you say are the top 2 things that agents should be focusing on right now?
So, number 1, just remain top of mind, right? So top of mind means come on social media and bring value. So when I want to bring value, I want to talk about, hey, let's give you some points on new builders. New builds. What are the tricks to new builds? Because I just learned this week that you can do payments on your deposit for new builds. I never even knew you could do that. So just those types of things, and really sharing that with other people. What are interest rates doing? And just talk with your lenders, talk with your vendors, talk with people, and just get some information, and then just do a live video with that, accompanied by, hey, guess the square footage of this house I just sold. Let me announce the winners, right? Because people are what's in it for me. That's a lot of the time. That's what people want to see. So I'm giving out, $5 to $10 Starbucks gift card. That's what's in it for them. But
I love what you do with that, with your prices.
Yeah, the prices, right? And the guesses. So, but I'm going to make them listen to the facts of the market and this and that first, and then we're going to get to let's find out who won. Right. Because I really do want these people to be educated when they're making those decisions on going with the new build or getting pre-approved or doing that. So I would just be top of mind, but also be a human, right? People still want to see you and your life and your family, that kind of thing. So I do put a lot of real estate content out there, but I also, have some stuff of me and my daughter as well. So just remain top of mind and be active on social media. Even if you don't have anything that's sold or that's in escrow right now, look at this house I showed, guess the square footage of the one I showed, because you're still out there, you're still working. So I would say be top of mind and add every single person you meet into your CRM.
Yes.
That's the biggest. Yeah, that's huge. So I would say just those 2, so that way you can check in with people now. It's, you meet somebody at Starbucks and you have just their email or just their Facebook, whatever the case may be. I still put them in my CRM and say, this is their Facebook link or this is their email, whatever the case may be. So that way you can still follow up with them during times like this. Hey, I know I met you at Starbucks. It's crazy that I can't walk in and meet anybody at Starbucks right now. It's all drive-through.
Right. Have you done anything on Zoom these days? Are you doing a lot of like your meetings via that, or kind of like what? Okay.
Yeah, so I do buyer consultations is the main one that I'm doing on Zoom right now, just to really educate the clients on the process. I have a buyer VIP plan that I kind of go over with them step by step, or just really to answer any concerns, reservations, hesitations, right? Because they all have that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not, a lot of people aren't just going to go to a lender first. I mean, I explain it as I'm the smile and the lender's the dentist, right?
Yeah.
So they want to hear from you first. They want to ask the questions because you're the familiar face or you're the referral.
Right.
So yeah, I would say that. And then just really time management. A lot of people say, you know, oh,
Whoa.
I don't
That's huge.
have a balance. You know, I have to have a balance with life, family. I do agree a balance is the benefit.
Kind of breaking up. Kind of breaking up there a little bit. Let me see. You're back. You're back. Okay. Yeah. So we got like another
said that,
2 minutes. 2 minutes. So I just want to tell you that 2 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say just, and I understand that the time management and the family balance can be a challenge for a lot of people, but just really come up with a perfect daily schedule. Try to as much as you can. I have a 3-year-old. You know, if I get a call from a client and it's something serious, I go grab a scoop of M&Ms, I hand them to her, and I go make my call, and she's good. And I just try to make that call as quick as I can. But at the same time, people love to know that you're real too. So if they hear her in the background, it's not the end of the world, you know.
Ciera,
so just read top of mind.
Thank you so much for sharing everything you shared with us today. And man, I could have an entire show on like, you know, your strategies and everything you're doing. But just wanna just one last thing. I just want to acknowledge you. I want to acknowledge you as a leader. I want to acknowledge you as a powerhouse. I want to acknowledge you for being a great mom. I want to acknowledge you for being out there and making things happen every single day. And just being an outstanding human being. So thank you so much for what you do, because I know you truly come from a place of contribution. And it truly shows. So congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
All righty. Have a beautiful day. I'm going to bring on the next speaker.
All right. I'm going to go.
All righty. So now we're on to the next speaker. We got Mr. Hector Benavidez. What's going on, my friend? How we doing? I can't hear you, my friend. Let me see. Hold on. There you go. I can hear you now.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you loud and clear, my friend. Loud and clear.
Perfect. Yes. How are you, Leo?
I'm doing outstanding, my friend. Living the dream, bro. Living the dream, man. I got to hang out with you guys. I mean, this is the dream, man.
Nice. Good for you.
Yeah, bro. So we got 15 minutes, man. 15-minute little blitz, you know, interviews right here. But I just want to share with everybody your story, man. You know, how long you've been in the business, what inspired you to get into business, what have you done? Let's start from there, bro.
Okay. Well, I've been in the business since 2001, almost at the end of 2001. So I've been licensed for almost 19 years. And what got me into the business, I used to be in the shoe business, like wholesale shoe business before. And I used to have clients on a certain avenue in LA area. And every time I was passing that street, that avenue, I see a sign saying make $100,000 or more selling real estate. Wow. And I'm like, okay, I was making that much on my business, but I said, well, I don't have to carry like inventory and, you know, people calling, asking for credit and things like that. So I went in, I talked to the broker, and he said, you know what, Hector, I think you'll be really good at real estate. So that's when I started selling real estate back in 2001, 2002.
Wow,
and
man.
then I started just with the same company for 18, 19 years.
Wow. Yeah, man. That's amazing. Then that sign, huh? That sign shifted your entire life, bro.
Exactly. Yes, that's exactly how it was.
Yeah. So tell everybody, you know, I mean, you've been in the business 19 years. So what have you done? I would say like production wise, like awards, like what kind of stuff so people can get related to that.
Well, just to make it simple, if anybody's familiar with the Century 21 recognition, I've been a Centurion agent for my entire career, except for my first year, which I did it for the first 6 months. The last 6 months of the year, I was like Rookie of the Year, and after that, like Centurion. So in order to be a Centurion, you gotta produce certain amount of transactions or commission. which and now it's like 285,000. I mean 288,000 per year gross close commissions, or selling like 30 to 40 transactions a year. So
Wow.
I mean, in a few years, I made it like double centurion, which is like you gotta produce over like close to 100 transactions per year. So it's like between a centurion up to like maybe 40 or 288,000, and double centurion like up to like 540,000 and up or something like that. So I've been a centurion like my entire 18 years as realtor.
Wow, man, that's amazing. That's outstanding, bro. That's
Thank you.
congratulations on that. And I think a great question would be, what kind of books do you read? Podcasts? I mean, what do you do to feed your mind, bro?
I went back to the basics, and I've been reading and listening to videos, which is I don't know if you guys are familiar with Earl Nightingale.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I
Earl
love that
Nightingale.
guy.
Yeah, bro.
Real,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
real simple stuff, goes to the point, and that's actually what I've been reading for the past probably 6 months now,
Wow.
And listening to, and basically my that's my daily activity. Like I gotta read or listen to Earl Nightingale at least an hour a day.
I love Earl Nightingale, bro. Like, actually, at 16, I went to his website, nightingale.com,
That's
and
right.
dude, that's exactly what at 16 years old, I picked up his information. So that changed my life. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
awesome.
because the way he talks and the way he sees things is really simple, and it's just simple stuff that we can apply on our daily activities and our on a daily actions that we take every single day.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's awesome. So Earl Nightingale, is there a certain book that you've read that you read from Earl Nightingale that you've liked, that's a favorite?
Well, I like them all, but what I'm doing for the past 6 months, like I told you before, I'm actually listening to video to on
Okay,
YouTube
his
videos.
recording.
Yeah, it's
Right.
recorded. Yeah, so I've been doing that. But as far as books, I can tell you that I've been doing. I'm actually reading now the most recent book from Tony Robbins.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
So, but I mean, mainly I like to listen to Earl Nightingale on a daily basis.
Perfect. Perfect.
Mhm.
Tell everybody what time you wake up every day, bro.
Try to wake up. I mean, with this, time changes. I do like 5:30 to 6 a.m. every single
Okay.
morning,
Good, bro. That's
and I
good.
got my routine. I do my meditation in the morning, and then my exercise, and then I go to listen. I put on my headphones and start listening to my videos, and I do that for like at least, like I said, listening to about an hour. My gym time is about an hour, and my meditation about 20 minutes every single morning, and then at night I do the same thing. My meditation 20 minutes before going to sleep.
I love that. I love that. And that's one of the things that I want our viewers to hear, is that you have something set up in place in the morning for yourself, so you could go ahead and feed yourself, number one. And that's what I hear that you're doing. And
Exactly.
even with changes, you're still doing that.
Yep. That's
Yep.
what I'm still doing.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, tell us, what's your vision? Would you say here in the next 5 years, bro?
Oh my God. Now that you know that I changed companies, my mind went like, exploded big time. So I want to start as far as production, and as
Mm-hmm.
far as the new platform that we have at EXP Realty. I'm actually seeing myself making a few $1 million after 5 years. So basically, I'm not gonna stop selling, which is my main focus. I enjoy selling homes and listing properties and helping clients all the time. But I mean, my main goal now is I want to make at least $2 million per year in 5 years from now.
Love it. Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. That's a great goal, bro. And I know with your commitment and with your mindset, you're going to do that, brother. So talk about, like, things what did you do differently? Obviously we have this pandemic. So I just asked the previous speaker as well, like, what did you do to prepare yourself, or like, what did you do different, for this shift?
I bought my treadmill machine.
Yeah,
Hey,
very
it's funny, man, but I bought it like right like at the end of February. I'm like, because they
dude.
closed the gyms.
Dude,
So
I could have bought a Peloton bike before. One of my friends had a deal on it, and I passed up on it. I said, "Bro, I got the gym. I don't need the Peloton." And
yeah, yeah.
we got locked down. I was like, "Man."
No, that was a joke, but I did buy my machine back in February. But I mean, as far as business, it's hard because nobody knew what to expect as far as time frame for the whole stay home thing.
Right.
But what I did is I have my CRM in my computer, so I got it. It's my personal CRM. I have two different systems that I use all the time, so
Okay.
I can use them. I mean, any time, any day. So what I do is what I've been doing for the past like 2 months is I've been calling my past clients,
Okay.
and
Perfect.
I've been texting my past clients, sending emails. And the funny thing is, I used to like ask for business the first week or second week of the pandemic thing. But I mean, I changed my approach, and then I said, hey, I hope you guys are doing great. If you guys need anything, just let me know. Reach out. I'm here to help you. But so once I changed my approach, a lot of people were calling me back because it was
Yeah.
not about business.
Right.
So I started implementing that. I mean, calling my past clients on a daily basis, and texting my clients, and kind of I didn't obviously didn't have the opportunity to go out there and prospect or meet clients, but I did. That fact that I was using my past clients on my CRM helped me a lot. You know.
Right. 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 Very cool, bro. That's key, man. Relationship building. That's the biggest thing that you could do right now in today's
Yeah.
business. Talk about like top two strategies that you use to get business, bro.
But before the pandemic,
Before the pandemic, or even right now, like what are two things that agents should be focusing on right now? Like
past
two things.
clients, past
Past client,
clients, and lead follow up. Yeah.
lead
We
follow
still,
up.
I can guarantee that most agents will still have like a list of clients that we would tag someday, or maybe 2 years ago, about a year ago, and we kind of forget to tag to those people. So lead follow up is one of the most important things and key on this business. But also, I always focus myself and tell my friends and coworkers, or people in the business, hey, your follow up with your past clients has to be the most important thing.
Right.
Like on my business for the past 15 years has been past clients. Past clients. I get a lot of referrals. So I'm really big into that. My past clients are my main, source of business.
Okay.
So
So
those
would you say
those
that?
two things.
What kind of percentage do you think that's past clients to other lead generation?
70% past clients.
Wow.
70-75%, yes.
75%. What would you
Mhm.
say the other 25-30% would be? What kind of things are you doing?
It's referrals. I'm not really that big into like social media and things like that, but I mean, following my CRM system, with, for example, if I get a lead or somebody that went into my website and look at a home, then I put them in a drip campaign, and that system follow ups with them. So, and
Hmm.
eventually I treat him like like a lead.
Right.
So I start doing my follow up with them, but I'm mainly focused on past clients.
Very cool. Very cool. What would you say to a new agent right now that's out there listening to you? Obviously, you've built your business over the 18 years. What would you tell somebody that's starting off, or Hector in year one? What would you tell them?
Okay, just go back to the basics. Go back to the basics. Contact all your friends, your family members, and trust me, especially in these times, they want to help you. They
Mhm.
do want to help you. Call them and ask them if they know anybody that wants to buy or sell a home. Make sure you contact all. Look, a lot of new agents, they have at least 1,000 phones on their cell phone. So,
Correct.
and I tell them, call them, ask them for
Yeah.
business. So just go back to the basics. I know we can't go in door knock right now. Maybe in some areas you guys can, but if I
Right.
were you, I mean, my first year in the business, I will still do my at least 3 to 4 hours of door knocking. Door knocking is really, I mean, an expensive way of prospecting. You just need some flyers, business card, and your
Right.
time.
Or
That's
digital
it.
door knocking, right? Because we can't really technically do the door knocking now. Yeah. So
Yeah, like I said, in some areas you can, but some areas you're allowed to door knock. I heard in parts of Texas and Arizona they're doing some door knocking. And one of my friends here in Los Angeles he's actually door knocking right now. I'm like, you're not supposed to, but he's doing it. At
right.
least leaving your flyer in the front door, maybe you can use it as an
Yeah.
exercise way. Just
Exactly.
leave it in the front door at 6 o'clock in the morning before anybody wakes up. Leave it right there. Maybe they call you, but just go back to the basics, Leo.
That's a great strategy. I mean, yeah, even if you wanted to do door, just drop something off of value, and
Yes.
then they'll contact you. I like
Yeah,
that.
some informational material, maybe statistics about the pandemic thing, or maybe, I don't know, basics about to open, things like that, and just put your business card in there and leave it in the front porch.
Yep. So what? Tell everybody, like, what's your why, bro? What do you do? What you do?
Uh, well, I get very excited by when I help people. When
Love it.
somebody comes to me and say, you know what, Hector, it's my dream to buy a house, and I went to so and so, nobody could help me. And when I take it as a challenge, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna help you get into a home. So
Right.
that's what moves me. That's what gets me very excited to help people accomplish that dream. You
Mm.
know, and when I turn those keys into their new home, I mean, I like that feeling. You know, so
Yeah.
that moves me a lot.
It does. It does,
Yeah,
man. And it's a great feeling that you only understand when you do the business, and when you actually do that, you create that experience for a family, man.
that's
It really
right.
changes their life. It really does.
Correct.
Yep. So what else do you think that somebody else, like, obviously you give us a two basics, go back to the basics. What are other things that agents should be doing right now to pivot? You know, that to pivot to, you got about 2 more minutes for your interview, but like, what do you think they should be doing to pivot right now?
Well, first thing, stop watching the news.
Yes. Yes.
Don't watch the news. You go to the source. Go to ask somebody that you trust about some information. But stop being afraid and stop watching news. And I haven't watched news for the past probably 12 years,
Okay.
and my life has been totally different because I don't trust a lot of information that is out there.
Hmm.
But I mean, just be focused. You gotta be 100%. Like your mentality has to be the key, especially in these hard days.
Right.
So focus 100% on, like I told you, your past clients, but also make sure you don't listen to the bad stuff.
Yep.
Just don't listen to negative people. If you see anybody negative people, just get away from them and just do
Yeah.
your own thing.
Step
Yeah,
away.
step
Yeah.
away.
Absolutely, my brother. Well, this is great advice. I truly appreciate you spending your time. So I just want to acknowledge you as a leader. I want to
Thank you.
acknowledge your time because I know it's immensely valuable. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for what you do, and thank you for your service, man. How many lives have you changed in 18 years in the business, man? So thank you for every life that you've touched throughout the years. And I'm looking forward to to seeing you grow, and achieve all your goals, bro. So thank you for spending the time with our audience today.
Thank you, Leo.
All right, brother.
Have a good
Sounds
one.
good, man. Let me go ahead and bring up the next speaker, my friend. So let me go ahead and X you out of the screen. All righty. So the next speaker that we got coming up, let me see if we got, let me see, Mr. Elmer Morales. What's up? What's up, my brother? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Good, brother. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, what's up, bro? I can't see you though. You
can't see me?
Nah, bro. I can only see you got your audio only right now.
Let me change settings. Sorry, guys.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Let me see.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. Because right now you just have a mountain in the background, my friend. So let me go ahead and.
Okay. Jesus.
If not, what you could do is log out and log back in, bro. That also helps out a lot. So maybe sometimes if you can't figure it out, you can just log back in, because it does say. I mean, obviously we could hear you, but I want to see that $1 million smile, bro.
I know. I brushed my teeth this morning too, so let me see if I can figure this out. Taylor, you want to help me out over here? Hang on.
All right, for sure, bro. No problem.
Okay, your mic is muted.
Settings.
Pro cam. What is this?
Yeah, that's it.
Logic capture. There?
No.
No, actually, I would say log out and log back in. I think that would probably help. So let's just do that. So while you come back, I'll just talk to the audience here. So we got Mr. Elmer that's going to be coming back on the screen here pretty soon. Let me go ahead and X you out, remove you from the screen. But yeah, meanwhile, we are doing this live, my audience. So I really appreciate you guys' patience. Everybody that's tuning in right now, I hope everybody has an immense amount of value. The speakers are going to be staying on, and they're going to be, watching this feed. So I made sure that I tagged everybody, and you can reach out to any one of them. They've agreed that they can get on the on a messenger or something. The intention of this whole speaking engagement here is to bring massive value to the community. So thank you guys for being on once again. And there will be somebody asked if there were going to be a replay. There will be a replay, most likely. Stay tuned for that. I'm going to be looking at how we're going to basically create this stream. Let me go ahead and see if I can get Mr. Elmer on the screen. So, Mr. Elmer.
Can you see it?
Tell me you can see me.
I can't see you, bro. I can see I can hear you. And can everybody hear? Can everybody hear Elmer? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what the cam is on.
The camera. Okay, he just bounced off. Let me go ahead. Hey, Anthony, you ready to go, bro? All right, I'm gonna bring you on real quick, right, bro? All right, then. So we're gonna go ahead and go with Mr. Anthony Nguyen. What's going on, bro?
Going on, Leo?
How we doing today, man?
Man, just working, man. Took a little time off, man. Just strategizing right now, see how we can bring more value to everybody in our community.
Yeah, bro. Well, thank you for what you do, man. I know you're massively bringing value to the community. You're always out there making it happen. Every single time I talk to anybody, bro, I hear nothing but good things.
Is that right? Okay, good things are better than bad things for sure.
You're doing the right things, bro. So thank you for what you do out there. So why don't you just go ahead and start off and share with everybody your story, bro? That way everybody gets related to who you are, how long you've been in the business.
Yeah, so just to age myself a little bit, I've been in the industry since 1999. I started off as a lender for Direct Loan Plus up in Irvine. And after that, I worked as a subprime account executive for New Century for a minute. And then I got back into opening my own shop, doing subprime loans with a partner for Harborside Financial. And, we opened an office called Fair Lending Practice Group up in Pasadena up until 2007-8, until the crash. Stepped away from that, got into technology. And I love technology because, it's what's driving us today and make our lives a little bit easier is technology. So I stepped away from that. I got hungry again. I said, you know what? I want to get back into real estate because that was my bread and butter. That's where I made the most money in my life. And, started back with investments, with flips. And I said to myself, you know what, man, I'm going to go back in full production and show being a leader and showing my peers, and my team that, if I can do it, you can certainly do it. So pandemic, I mean, people had slowed down their business. But in fact, me getting back into the industry, my second quarter, I think about 3 million in volume, and it's still climbing. You know what I mean? So, I mean, when people say, it's impossible to close deals during this time, it's really not. In fact, it's getting busier. The showings are there. You see so many pendings on the market right now and so many new listings as well. So keep driving. Don't stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, brother. And can you share with everybody, what do you do for your mindset? Like, what kind of stuff do you listen to? What books do you read? What would you recommend?
The book I always go to is Dale Carnegie's How to Win People and Influence People. That's an old school book, but classic. Kind of like Dre's album, first album, The Chronic. Classic stuff, right? So you want to go back to classic. It always, people are stepping away. They depend on this now to communicate. And I tell people, no, 60-70% of the people are communicating through this now. Pick up your phone and call people now, because you'll be that 30% that doesn't do it, and you're reaching out to more people now, right? So be old school. Go back to the old school tactics, right? Make relationships, and that's how you can build your business. And how I wake up in the morning, how I get started with my mindset is I make my 3 affirmations, right? My first affirmation is I'm going to go out there and kill it today, no matter what, right? Okay. Build 5 new contacts, no matter what, all right? And I have a daughter that's 17 years old. I got to make sure she's okay. So I got to make sure that she's doing all right. So I make my affirmation for her as well. So
right. I love that. I love those 3 affirmations, brother. Thank you so much for sharing that. What time do you wake up in the morning?
Bro, I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning on the dot.
Dude, it's a common little thread right now. And that's why I'm asking everybody. 5 o'clock in the morning.
5 a.m. in the dot. I go to sleep around, I need more sleep, actually. I go to sleep around maybe 12 or 1. Yeah. I get about 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but that's all I really need right now. I'll sleep when I die. That's my mindset. Right now I still got to grind. Still got to keep going. Yeah,
bro, there's a lot of opportunity out there. Absolutely. So what did you do differently? Would you say with this, when the pandemic hit, what are you doing differently in your business? Like, what would you say to agents out there that they can apply to the business? What would you do?
I say circle prospect a lot. Go back to your book of business. Talk to people you worked on in the past before. How are you doing today? Can I help you with anything? Don't talk business. Because right now the last one here is about buying or selling a home. Is there anything I could do for you? Can I drop off a care package for you and your family? Those type of things, they're showing that you're actually an active, caring person. And guess what? When they were looking to buy or sell again, the first person that calls you. And if they don't, they get a referral. Hey, you know what? I know this guy named Leo Robles or Anthony Nguyen. Talk to him. They're going to take care of you. So it's just about reaching out. In fact, one of my colleagues, they said that, right now, reach out, just text people you haven't talked to about 5 years.
Right.
For you. 3 years, you'll be surprised. They'll have a full-on conversation with you and don't talk business at all. Oh, by the way, did you know I do business at the end? I'm still in real estate, but don't talk about buying or selling actively.
Love it. So when you're out there circle prospecting, you're like, just maybe share like a little bit. What do you say? Like, just simple, very simple. For
Circle prospecting. Well, you know what? Actually, the one thing is you want to ask about how they're doing. Really, how's the family, right? Mm-hmm. And you have to remember things about tidbits about them that you did business before. Did they have a dog named Pony or whatever? Hey, how's Pony doing? Right. So little tidbits about when you circle prospect and you go back, they'll remember and you remember, and that puts a connective relationship back, and it'll make it easier when you talk business in the future again.
Very cool. Very cool. What would you say that there are the top 2 strategies that people should be applying right now? I know you said circle prospecting, talking to past clients. What else?
Well, I want to share some secrets. So I brought some heat. So I brought some seeds. So I want agents to make extra $50,000 to $75,000 per year. And how do we do that, right? Mm-hmm. By aligning yourself with strong investors right now. So investors right now, if you haven't noticed, are one of the mechanisms behind our industry that's pushing some inventory, right? Line yourself with 3 or 5 good investors and be out there prospecting all the time. Drive for dollars. If you see an ugly house, if you see something that's out of the ordinary, write that address down, go back to Spokio or any type of people search, reach out to that owner, say, hey, I'm working with a couple investors. Do that 2 or 3 times a day, I guarantee you, and align yourself with these people. Align yourself with good investors, and trust me, your income level is going to shoot up to maybe $75,000 a year just by circle prospecting and going back and doing the driving for dollars.
Very cool, very cool. What would you say for somebody? I mean, because I think the investor, there's many out there. I mean, but definitely having one that you have a great relationship with is everything. What would you say is like maybe some strategies on how to find these investment deals?
Finding investment deals is actually, if you have a good rapport with your realtor community. A lot of them have some deals, some off-market deals. I mean, I know we can't. There's a lot of rules right now with the off-market stuff, especially with CAR and especially with NAR, and kind of like restricting what we're trying to do, right? But if you do have a good relationship with the network community of realtors, they're going to tell you, Anthony, don't you work with a good pool amount of investors? I got this deal for you, right? So number 1, build your relationship with other realtors. Be cool with one another. Number 2, do the driving for dollars. Number 3, call pre-foreclosures. If you have property radar, anything like that.
That's good.
Spend about maybe, I would say 2 or 3 hours a week, just calling people out the blue. Hey, I want to know what happened to your home, anything that can help. There's certain bullet points you want to like navigate and talk to people, and not necessarily use any type of script. So
beautiful
closures.
Very cool, very cool. What drives you, bro? What's your why?
My why is my daughter. She's 17. My other why is my team. I want to see them grow. I want to see them put food on their table, and I want them to excel. Everyone I touch, every person that I've done business with, I want them to say, what, this guy right here has a great reputation, and his team has a great reputation, and that's all it is, really. That's my drive, and I want to be. Actually, I made it my commitment this year. I'm probably gonna beat my production, like everything I did, even in loans. So that's my drive. Yeah.
Awesome. I love your mindset, and especially right now. I mean, I think a lot of people need to hear this because. You're definitely, the market's shifting, but I sense opportunity right now.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's exactly what you're sensing as well.
Market is shifting. We're going to see, it's not going to be like 2008. Trust me on that. 2008 was more of a lending issue, right? This is more of a pandemic issue. So once that stay-at-home is lifted, you're going to see employment go back to normal again. You're not going to see a lot of foreclosure, but what you might see is more short sales because people might self-panic. Right, but there's not going to be like a crap load of foreclosures that you saw in 2008. There's going to be a lot of great opportunities for people. So right now, I would say go out there and go full force and start prospecting hard on the phone. Use your phone as your ally, and don't do the texting, don't do the technology as much. Stay away from that. Still do that, but connect with people more on the phone. Go back to that 30% where people are doing, because that makes you stick out as an individual.
Love it. I love that, bro. You're bringing some nuggets, bro. What other goodies you got in your bag, bro? What are the nuggets you got?
Yeah. So I want everyone to, if everyone's listening right now, especially if you're a realtor, align yourself with organizations, right? iBuyers, because iBuyers is the future right now, right? So you see Redfin doing it, Open Door doing it, Zillow doing it, Redfin doing it. I've been working with a company called OfferBank, and what they've been offering me is, hey, if I have a property I can't move, they'll buy it from me, from my client, at a 75 to 80% clip. They're going to give me the opportunity to relist that thing. So I'm not going to lose that deal. I'm actually going to make maybe 3 to 4% in the back end if I work with them. So I mean, I'm going to drop some of this information. If anyone has questions about OfferBank, I'll be more than happy to drop that in the comments section. And that's the way for you to build your business another 10 to 15% as well.
Very cool. I love that, brother. I love that, man. So OfferBank, yeah, go ahead and after we hop off, maybe you could drop the information. That way people can get in touch, right, and get some more information on that. Because I think that definitely having a solid relationship for that. I mean, we understand that there's a lot of people that are out of business, obviously, right? And I mean, that's going to impact the foreclosures. There's going to be some sort of impact. So having an alignment with an investor, I know it's going to be key. I did over 550 deals myself, actually, from 2009 to 2013. It was just what you just said, bro. So what you're sharing is the truth, bro. It's a big deal. It's a really big deal.
It is a big deal, and I feel like, but you have to align yourself with not just one, but 3 or 5 good ones, right? If you want to see your income soar to that $75,000 mark, 3 or 4 good ones that'll actively buy. And a lot of the investors, don't get me wrong, some of them are BS out there. You know, they're just wasting your time. But align yourself with the real ones who are out there to buy stuff from you and work with you. And also still stick to your own script. Do your own bread and butter. Still go ahead and do your listing presentations the same way. You know, but to me, honestly, I think like working with the buyers, if you have your team, put it to the rookies, have them work with the buyers, and you go full-fledged on the listings. Honestly,
Cool.
you know, you put that on your team with the new guys.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way. That's a good way to create some leverage as well. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Cool, brother. So you got another minute. It looks like it here. Any last thoughts before I get Elmer on the slide here?
Man, just so happy to share some good information, man. I think the wave of the future, even though I say step away from technology, not really, but have a good backbone, work with 1 or 2 good organizations, work with 3 or 4 good investors, and you're good to go. And in fact, if anyone wants to learn more about, I have a nonprofit organization called No Agent Left Behind.
I love it.
Pushing. It's more educational. I train a lot at a lot of boards. I used to train a lot in different offices. So, you know, I'm always, open to giving some free nuggets, man. Always in our community.
I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for sharing, man. And it's been an honor to have you on. I just want to acknowledge you for being a great human being, bro. Ever since I met you, you automatically are like, you're my boy, you're my friend. You know, you're somebody like you got that vibe automatically. I acknowledge you for being a great father. I acknowledge you for your leadership and everything you do for your team. Because I know that you're somebody that's all about teamwork and team building. Thank you for bringing in immense value, all these different nuggets. There's a lot of people that are asking questions about, the things that you talked about. Yeah. So you can dive in there and share with people. That'll be amazing, brother. So
all right, guys. Have a blessed day and keep pushing. And thank you, Leo, for all this great information and being an amazing leader as well. I'll catch you guys later.
Appreciate you, bro. Peace, man.
Peace.
All righty, cool. So let me go ahead and check in with Mr. Elmer. Mr. Elmer was here. And let me go ahead and get him back on here. Give me 1 second, guys. He should be coming on. Mr. Elmer Morales. And I hope you guys appreciate this. I mean, I'm doing this live. You know what I mean? So we're going to have little glitches or little technical things. But again, Anthony, Ciera, Hector, they're going to be on the feeds. I tagged everybody on the post as well. So make sure that you get in touch with them. I mean, they're really, I handpicked all of these leaders because I know that they're not just all about them. They're heart-based leaders that are out there making an impact and truly helping people to grow their business. And you could truly see that. So let me go ahead and bring Mr. Elmer. What's up? Let me go ahead and see here. 3, 2, 1. Boom, Mr. Elmer. What's up, bro?
Not much. You can hear me. You can see me.
I can hear you, I can see you, and I can see that $1 million smile, broski. Come on now.
All right. Well, good. We got one item out of the way for 2020. How to work the Facebook Live cam.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you looking good, man. You've been doing some workouts or what? You been working out every day or what?
No, it's just the hair, bro. I just let it grow out. Well, I didn't have much of a choice. So some people say it makes me look younger, other older, but I have no choice.
I like it, man.
Dude, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I first just want to thank you for your time, bro. I know you're nonstop, man. You're crushing it out there. So thank you for your time. Thank you for tuning in and making yourself available. But just walk me through your story, bro. Tell them about yourself.
I've been in the industry going on 20 years, so I'm the old guy on the block now. I got started when I was 21. I mean, I've done a little bit of everything. I've done REOs, I've done short sales, I've been broke, I've been super broke. I've mismanaged the team. I've run a team pretty well, and now we've turned into a brokerage. But I think the thing that's really put me in a position where I am now is understanding that I had to develop and grow as an individual, and I never settled for anything that was put in front of me. I always want better. I always want better for the team. I always want better for the office. I just I don't settle. I don't ever settle. And that's what's gotten me through. In 2008, I lost everything, like a lot of people I'm sure listening did. I was in a McDonald's drive-thru and I ordered a cheeseburger and Coke. Of course, not the healthiest of things, but it was $1. I'll never forget it, bro. It was $1.92. My debit card got declined. I didn't have $1.92 in the ashtray, and I had to drive off. One of the saddest days of my life. But it is what it is, You do what you got to do to persevere and get ahead and just make things work.
Wow, bro. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, bro. And $1.92, bro. That's gonna be your brand. Like kind of like the Rock ended up with $100 and he ended up creating a little brand out of it. So you should call yours like 192.
I got a lot of things. I got a lot of stories when I was broke, man. And for those people listening, some of them can relate to that story of being broke, not knowing which direction you got to go, having to get your butt up in the morning and still grind it out. And there's others of us that'll fall into a routine of not showing up to work every day, getting up later, sleeping in, drinking, doing all the things you shouldn't be doing because you don't have any business going. You got to slap yourself out of that. Like, that's not even an option. The beautiful thing about waking up every day, Leo, I've been listening to some of your calls and people getting up at 5 a.m, 6 a.m, whatever it is. I don't care what time of the day you get up, as long as you get up with intention and you get up knowing that you're going to execute every day, that's all that matters. As long as you as long as you when you lay your head back down on the bed, you can say, hey, I gave it all I had today. Like, do work. If you do work every day, like things are gonna go your direction eventually. It can't always be a bad day every day. Control the weather.
Absolutely, brother. That's gold, bro. That's gold. And what would you say? I mean, for people that are listening, what was the thing that shifted for you when because I've been there too, bro. I've been at that moment where you're just fucking like, dude, cell phone getting disconnected, bills, all of that stuff, bro. I've been there, foreclosures, repos, you name it. What was the click for you? What happened, bro? What happened? I mean, like, can you walk people through? Because maybe there might be somebody out there that's experiencing that same sort of because some people can just and stop, right? But you chose to, like, you know what, this is it.
The crazy thing, Leo, is, like, people look at my business and they automatically assume, oh, Elmer and his team or his office are doing like 200 transactions, 300-400 transactions. He's doing well. No, even as early as 2018, I was struggling financially to, keep this thing afloat and figure out what changes I needed to make to be able to adapt and keep growing the business. So this is not just something that happens in the financial crisis, but going back to what changes you have to make, it's all mindset. Like, again, every morning you got to decide, am I going to get up today? Am I going to make a difference in my life today? You can either decide to stay in bed or you can decide to get up and kick ass every day. And I don't care what you do, whether it's Zillow, whether it's door knocking, whether it's prospecting around a new listing. I don't care what you do. As long as you do it at 100%, you're going to see results, right? Obviously, there's proven lead sources that are going to probably give you results sooner than later. But at the end of the day, it's all mindset. Like, if you're committed to your business, if you're committed to your family, if you get up every morning and you tell your wife, hey, I'm going out to work, or you tell your husband or you tell your kids, hey, I'm getting up and I'm going to work, and you're going into the office and you're sitting there going through Facebook and Instagram all day, stop kidding yourself. That's not work. Just because you have one escrow open and because you have a home inspection scheduled for your day, that's not work. Work is generating leads every day. Work is generating business every day. Work is opening escrows every day. Like, that's work. That's really being a good real estate agent and being productive daily. and
Amen.
accountable to yourself.
Amen, my brother. Amen. I
Yeah.
love that. I think everybody should replay what you just said every single morning, because that is key, brother. That is definitely key. What would you say? I mean, what did you do to develop yourself? Because that's one of the things that you said, right? I developed myself. So what did you do? What kind of things did you start doing in your life to develop yourself?
So I'm gonna touch on two things. That's a great question, Leo. Number one is I understood. I can't remember what book I was reading or what video I was watching where this finally clicked in my head. I understood that the Elmer Morales, even the Elmer Morales that's sitting in front of you guys right now, is not the Elmer Morales that can manage, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 different offices and recruit 100, 200, 300 agents. That's impossible. I have to grow. So whether it's reading a book, being coached, watching videos, like I have to self-develop in order for me to get to the level that I want to get to. Once that clicked in my head, that the person sitting in this chair wasn't capable of doing the things that I imagined myself doing, then it became really easy to take some accountability on my failures, right? So if I got to a goal and I didn't reach my goal, then I understood that it was my fault. I couldn't point the finger at anybody else. It's not the office you work for. It's not the manager in the office. It's all self-accountability, right? So then I realized, hey, how do I get there? Read a book, sit down and interview a person that's maybe doing the business or the one thing that you're wanting to do. Interview the people that are doing it well, and then start implementing those things into your business, and then start growing from there. So that's that's one of the things I did to improve.
So what I heard you say, based on everything you just said, is you took full responsibility for everything.
Every day, bro. Every day. Like, I don't point fingers at nobody ever. If anybody on the team fails, it's my fault. Anybody on the staff fails, it's my fault. If anything fails around here, it's my fault, because I have something to do with everything. And if I'm not showing up at 110% day in and day out, then there's only one person to point the finger at, and that is myself. But I also everybody that I coach in here too, I tell the same thing. You got to be able to take responsibility for yourself.
Yep, 100%, bro. And I'm getting to it. Look, it really doesn't matter what book or what podcast you're doing, because it really, you're going to end up at the same spot. But would you recommend, because I'm very curious, like one book, bro, just talk one book or one podcast, one audio, one thing. Share with me one nugget.
So there's and the sad part is I don't have the name of it. So there's a book that I read that helped for my customer service, and it kind of launched my business. It's called Raving Fans. So Raving Fans is the book I've read multiple times. It's not really self-development, but it talks about what your customer service should be like to your consumer, so you can keep bringing back repeat business. But there's a video I used to watch. I used to watch it before every listing appointment, because I started going up against like the Marty Rodriguezes of the world and the bigger listing agents. And I didn't know that I was necessarily worthy of being there. So I'd sit there and I would watch this 5-minute video before every listing presentation. Anytime I got nervous, I would watch this video. By the time I was done watching that video, I knew I was the best agent, and I knew that I was the best Elmer going into that appointment, and it delivered for me every single time.
You got to share that, man. I need that. I need that.
It's on YouTube. You guys can find me on Instagram. Follow me. I'll send you the link. But it's a great video. It's just a motivational video. Whatever you got to do, man, to pump yourself up before every appointment or any sort of situation where you feel like the best you has to show up. You should probably have that saved or ready in your phone somewhere to put it together and psych yourself up.
Love it, brother. So, what's your what would you say the top 2 strategies are? Top 2 strategies for people to implement. 2 things.
So, those of you that have followed me have a pretty clear understanding that I've built relationships with corporations for lead generation, and that's been my business. My online business has been my focus for 7 years now, and it continues to be. But the one thing that's really launched our business here at eHomes is that we built on those partnerships. We asked the question, what is it that you're looking for in a top tier agent and a top tier team? And whenever they give us a response, we immediately, Leo, implemented those items. We didn't wait. We didn't look to see if it was, 2 months down the road, 4 months.
Yes.
Now we implement now and adapt your business, right? The companies and the businesses that are going to survive COVID are all the companies and businesses that adapted to change. You see it in the restaurants. You see it in the companies that you're walking into every day. Those people that adapted are the ones making money. The ones that sat there and pretended like the world was going to crash down, that's exactly what's happening in their lives right now. The world is crashing down.
I love it. Bro, what's your vision in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years for the industry?
Or for yourself? Like what's next for Elmer, bro? You're freaking
we don't got that much time, man.
We got 2 minutes.
Okay, let me share some insight with you on what the business is going to be in 5 minutes. In 5 years, in the next 2 minutes. First of all, number one, technology and the internet. I don't know if you guys have realized it. It's not going anywhere. The internet's here for good. So Google your names. Find out what the consumer is finding when they Google your name too, and make sure you clean that up and you clean up your business. Number one. Number two. Just like the previous person was saying, that guest that you had on was saying, this market is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. It's going to stay pretty steady, but we will see an adjustment at the end of next year. Okay, all this COVID stuff, we're not going to see the results of it for 12 months. Okay, so start selling a whole bunch of houses right now. Start saving money. We're going to see opportunity at the end of next year. And you as real estate agents, shame on you if you're not taking advantage of that opportunity that's going to be presented to you in about 18 months.
Right.
And the business is going to be good, guys. Like, stay the course, stay consistent, stay persistent, and you will get through whatever it is that we're going through right now, because we're doing it as we speak.
Very cool, bro. Hey, and you still got another. Well, my next speaker hasn't shown up on the line, bro. So I got another minute or so, bro. If you
then hit me with another good question, bro. Let me. So here's a couple things I want to share. Just and this is going to be a little bit more heartfelt because of everything that I watched for the last 8 weeks on social media. We're really quick to jump down each other's throats as an industry, right? Somebody showing property, we were really quick to say, hey, no, you can't. The government said you can, or the governor said you can't. Hey, we're here to support each other, right? That's what we're doing right now with Leo. Leo, you're sharing information with other realtors so they can get better. And we should applaud each other instead of knocking each other down. Now's not the time to pick at each other. Now's not the time to put each other down. We need to pick each other up as an industry, as individuals. And it's going to be better for the consumer. There's enough money and there's enough business to go around for all of us to share. Stop being so greedy and stop being so willing to, beat the guy up next to you. Help him up, stand him up, pick his chin up, and you'll be rewarded for it later. But don't do it for a reward. You just do it because it's the right thing to do as a human being.
Wow. I love that, bro. That's beautiful. And you're totally on point with that, man. And I think that if we did that, our industry would be better. Our clients would be better. I mean, man. I'm doing the stats on a weekly basis, bro. Just in 1 week, we had 1 billion closed, man. And it's like, what?
That's a beautiful thing.
It's like,
that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing.
There's an abundance, bro. I mean, and I truly appreciate, who you are. I truly appreciate your heart, bro, and you sharing. And interesting thing, I was reflecting on before you came on today. There was a moment that when we were at NARET, bro, there was a moment that we were at this event, and you told me, I'm going to freaking go all in. I'm going to be on top of this list, blah, blah, blah. I remember that was a day that shifted, bro. I know something shifted because I remember. I don't know if you remember that moment or not, but there was a moment that we were at this event, and then we drove. I actually ended up driving you home, I think, that day. I think it was a couple. Yeah. I don't know if you remember that or not. But I
remember a few different instances. So give me 1 more minute. I know you might have the guy back on, but let me tell you guys a little bit about myself and my story, really quick about who I am. Please. I'm super competitive. I'm super driven. When I put my mind something, there is nothing that's going to stop me. I'll tell you guys, when the market crashed in 2008, I was trying to land an REO account. Okay. and I was trying to get in with Wells Fargo. They were assigning BPOs to me in Needles, California. If anybody knows where Needles, California is, that's on the border of Arizona and California. For $50, I was driving to Needles, California, just because I thought it would give me an opportunity. So if I got opportunity, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I didn't even have gas money, and I was borrowing money to drive to Needles, California for a BPO. So don't talk to me about work, how hard it is, or how much you have to do of it. I work my butt off to get to where I'm at, and I'm still willing to do it today.
That's so beautiful that you said that. I talk to agents sometimes. They're like, I got a listing for 200,000. You think I should take it? I'm like, what do you mean? I said, it's like, how many deals you got right now? 0?
Opportunity, man. I want an at bat. Give me an at bat. I don't care where the at bat is. Give me an at bat, and I will always take it. Because from one at bat comes a home run, baby. Comes a home run. You have an opportunity to win the game. Just give me an at bat. Yep.
Absolutely, brother. Hey, Ricardo says he's having some issues. He's about to log in right now. So we got a couple. If you want to hang out, bro, if you can. Dude, I don't get to spend a lot of time, with you. So we hanging out right now, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey, you give me the green light to talk. I'll talk it up. I don't know if the audience or anybody watching has any questions, but work ethic. You don't got to talk to me about work. I work every day, Sunday through Saturday. I'm working. I enjoy going in and working every day. I prospect. I lead follow up more than anything nowadays, but I built my business that way. We run a pretty legit system here with ISA departments. So if anybody has any question on ISA departments and what an ISA department should look like, I have the ins and outs on that. I've been working on that for 7 years. Scripts. I have scripts for every single type of online lead. It's the online lead is a different animal, and I'm sure you've understood it and dealt with it. But that's something we worked on for 7 years. So if anyone in the audience has any questions, reach out to Leo, reach out to myself. I'm more than happy to and willing to share any of the scripts or any of the lead follow-up scripts that you might need to work on these online leads.
I appreciate that, bro. Yeah, the leads online, man. It's crazy how much follow up you got to do those things, and you have to have. I mean, it's literally a science, bro. And it literally is. It literally is, bro.
I've done it really bad, and I've done it really well, and I choose to do really well every day now.
And I think that's the one thing about successful people, bro, that you're willing to do something shitty, right? Taking the action. You're willing to do it shitty. But dude, I put this event together 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I had an idea, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to do this thing. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to reach out to amazing people. And you were like, all right, cool, dude, I'll do it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you didn't even give me a choice. You're like, you're going to be on. I was like, all right. But that's the way it gets done, bro. That's the way it gets done. Just get it done. Stop fucking moping around. Get it done.
Hashtag just get it done, bro. Just get it done.
Get it done. Yeah.
What's up, hey, bro? Everybody's probably asking right now, when are you going to get your haircut, bro?
I'm considering letting it grow out a little bit, bro. So we'll see what direction. I can't grow a beard, but I will grow my hair out.
Yeah, bro. I'll just grow the beard for both of us, bro.
No, dude, I got like patches going on my face. It's not a good look. But Leo, I appreciate you having me on. Everybody watching, I appreciate you guys. Taking time out of your day to listen in, and hopefully I shared enough with you guys. All I ever ask for when I do things like this, when I'm in the audience, is that I try to take one thing that I can implement in my business, and I'm hoping I share with you guys that one thing you can implement in your business and hopefully changes it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. I acknowledge your leadership. I acknowledge you for your journey. I acknowledge everything you've been through. Every single freaking shitty moment that you had to go through to be here now, bro. So thank you for your leadership.
I love those moments.
Yeah, it makes you the human.
Yeah, I love those moments. I love those moments. At one point I wanted to, I knew if I knew I was going to try something new, I wanted to get to the failure sooner than later. Because the sooner I got to the failure, the sooner I got to overcome it.
It's a result. Every time it's a result.
Yeah.
It's a result. It's a result. It's a result. Okay, that didn't work. That didn't work. Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Hey, Mr. Ricardo, dude, still on here. He said he has a bad internet connection, so he's trying to get on here. So I'm maybe you want to share Share something. Why don't you sing us a song, bro? I know you're a good singer.
No, I actually am not. You would think with this voice I would have some Vicente Fernandez on me, but I do not.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that makes a difference on the phone.
Yeah. Let me share with you guys some ideas, some nuggets. So obviously when this whole COVID thing happened, everybody started talking about REOs and that REO business coming. Well, those of you that have been in the business long enough understand that if a seller stops paying on a property today, we're actually not going to see that property foreclose on the market till 12 to 13 to 14 months from now. Yes. So that was a false information that we were giving the consumer to talk about REOs hitting the market. It doesn't work that way, guys. But what does that mean for us? That means you start preparing for the REO business now. You don't prepare for the REO business when the REO business gets here. So what did I do? I went on LinkedIn. I cleaned up my profile. I made myself an REO agent on LinkedIn again. I started reaching out and searching for REO asset managers, REO vendor managers, REO anything in your name. I started adding you on LinkedIn, and I started removing all my realtor friends. Sorry, guys. That way I could focus on a specific audience. And I started reaching out to them, and I started asking them and finding out how it is that I could get onto their platform, not for business today, but for business 12 months from now. But I want to start being in their face now. So when it does come up and the opportunity, and again, the at-bat, when I get my at-bat, I know what I'm going to do with it. So those are things that I started building on. I've been able to, build some relationships already with some banks. And, again, when the opportunity comes, man, I'm going to take it. I'm going to get my at-bat. And it's not going to be often that I strike out.
That's a huge nugget, bro, because I think that a lot of people wait for the opportunity to prepare. You're preparing way ahead of time for that opportunity. And the opportunity shows up. It's kind of like before I was on a camera, bro, I practiced so much on my own, bro, like at the wall, you know what I mean? Did like little stupid videos on my own. And then once I ever get my shot, I'm going to be ready for it.
Hey, Tony Robbins has a famous saying that says, people are rewarded in public for what they practice for years in private. And I remember when I was doing the Zillow thing, and people would talk smack to me back in 2012, 2013. Even today, they still give me a hard time about being a Zillow guy because everybody hates Zillow. But I knew that if I stood the course and if I did everything that I envisioned myself to do, and I implemented the business and the tools necessary to get my business to where it was going to need to get to, that I would succeed at the end. And it didn't matter, like, I was working long hours. People were on vacation. People were taking weekends off. I was over here trying to figure out how to put a freaking script together for a Zillow lead. And I didn't care. I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to stay persistent. I'm going to stay consistent. And now it's paying off.
Yep. And that's
7 years later. 7 years later.
Exactly.
Not 7 weeks, not 7 days, 7 years. That's what it takes.
And I think that everybody should pay attention to that, because everybody, when they look at amazing people like yourself on stage, they're all like, dude, right time, lucky. No.
None of those.
I ate shit for a long time. You know what I mean? I ate shit
None of those.
for a long time. It's like that. Yeah. That's what it takes. It's like long hours at night, 10, 11 o'clock at night, midnight, waking up extra early. Those are the things that make a person a success, bro. And it's that pain. It's that pain that you have to move through and say, no, I'm dying to my old self and this new freaking version of myself. I'm standing for that. And you're taking for
bingo.
Yes, sir.
Bingo. New version of myself. New version of myself. The same person watching this video is not the same person that can get to the goals that you have set for yourself. You have to self-develop. You have to self-grow. I posted this on Facebook a few days ago. The hardest thing you'll ever have to do is fire yourself when you're an entrepreneur, but it has to happen. And you got to fire yourself, because the same person that's sitting in this chair is not the same person that can manage a multi-office business. It's just not. I don't have the capacity to. Eventually, I'm going to have to fire myself, grow, read a book, interview a certain person, take a certain class, take a certain course, in order to self-develop, grow into that person, and we keep going and going and going.
I think that's a mindset that is phasing out already too, which it took me a long time to get myself out of my own way, bro, is trying to do everything yourself. Like just everything. Trying to do everything yourself, right?
Because you're the best at it. Because you're the best at it.
Huh?
Because you're the best at it. You think you want to do everything yourself because you're the best at it. Nobody can do it like I can do it. So we want to control everything. It's tough. Yeah.
Right. It's a tough mold to break, because that's one of the things that I found myself that I dealt with the most is like, man, I got so many great ideas, but you get to the point where you are your lid, you are your limit. So, dude, I just want to acknowledge you for your generosity, because you spent an extra 15 minutes and it was pure gold, bro. So, thank you so much for showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. You got cut off a little bit, so I don't know if you asked me a question, but I know I did hear you say thank you, and I thank you too for having me on.
Yeah, bro. God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. I'm excited to see your growth, and let's stick together, my brother. Thanks for being here. All right.
We'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.
All righty. So let me go ahead and bring on our next guest. So let me go ahead and bring you on the screen. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Mr. Danny Navarro, what's going on, sir? I cannot see you on the camera, my friend. Can you hear me?
There we go. How you doing, man?
What's up, broski? How we doing, man?
Good.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for being on. I'm so happy that this thing worked. I was praying to God. I'm like, please have this work.
Right, exactly.
Bro, thank you for being on. Thank you for taking your time. I know you're out there freaking making it happen all the time. You're a little frozen a little bit, so hopefully you can hear me. But just what there you are. You're back. So go ahead and share with people your story, bro. Who are you? How long you been in the business? What drives you, bro? Tell everybody. Hold on a second, broski. Hold on a second. You're freezing, my friend.
You can.
Hold on. Let me go ahead and bring you back on, bro. You're kind of frozen, buddy. Mr. Danny. Mr. Danny. What's going on, bro?
Prison.
There you are. You're back.
And can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes.
So basically from 18 to 27.
Can't hear you, bro.
Mr.
Danny. Mr. Danny.
Hello?
Yeah, bro. You keep cutting in and out. I don't know if it's your internet connection, bro.
Oh, righty. Okay. How about now?
Okay, I can see you. Can you talk a little bit?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, you're back. So, yeah, whatever you just said, I missed the whole thing. So I don't know if anybody else could have heard, but go ahead and start over if you can, please. Hopefully you don't freeze. There you are.
There we go.
Just make sure you have a good internet connection. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better.
Okay, cool. There we go. That good?
Yeah, you're good. I can hear you. You froze again. Bad Wi-Fi. What's going on, bro? Your internet. Not. I can't see you, bro. Can't see you.
Let me connect to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, connect to the Wi-Fi, bro. Connect to the Wi-Fi. Okay, let me go ahead and do. So while you do.
Better?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Okay, I'm gonna try to connect to a hard.
Yeah. So while Danny comes on and he comes back, I just want to thank you guys, our audience, for tuning in, and thank you guys for your time. We are dealing with the technical little difficulties here as we go, because this is a live event, and I knew that this sort of thing would potentially happen. But what do we do as leaders? We pivot and we innovate and we continue to keep going. So Danny Navarro is going to be coming back on. He's going to be connecting to his Wi-Fi, and hopefully we can see him a little bit more clear. And I think I can see you a little bit better, bro. I think I can see you.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. All right, bro. So let's take. Well, now your thumb is frozen, unless you're doing the thumb thing. All right. Okay, let me go ahead and hide you. Hold on, bro. Let me go ahead and bring you back on. Hey, Danny, why don't you try to log back in, log back out? Log back in and log back out. Yeah, log back in and log back out. All right. So while Danny comes on, if you guys have any questions for Danny, Danny is a developer, investor. He has a super inspiring story, guys. So I really, stay tuned here. Be patient with this whole thing, and he'll be back. Yeah, we got the Wi-Fi. Who would have known this event? The only thing that could go wrong is the Wi-Fi, and it sounds like the Wi-Fi is the culprit of the event right here. But thank you guys for being on. I know that everybody is commenting and putting a bunch of questions in there. The speakers have said, hey, go ahead and reach out to them. So I tagged every single person on this feed. Everybody's dying. What's going on, everybody? Come on now. We're about to get Mr. Danny back on live right here. And then Mr. Ricardo still dealing with this Wi-Fi, but we're good. So I'll just share with you guys a book that I'm reading right now that has made a big difference. It's called The Surrender Experiment. I'm doing this right now. This book is with Michael Singer. I highly recommend it. And it looks like Mr. Ricardo is, hold on a second here. Let me go ahead and leg him on, showing the stream. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Mr. Ricardo Acevedo, what's going on, bro?
Hey, how you doing? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, bro. Loud and clear, my friend. Loud and clear.
That's awesome. I'm glad. I was stubborn. I was stubborn to get through this thing, man. And I finally got my connection through, and I'm glad to participate on this group with a lot of energy there and a lot of good information. So
thank you,
to be part of it.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're crushing it out there, making it happen, bro. So your time is super valuable. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing your wealth of knowledge. Just talk to people about your story, bro. Tell them who you are, how long you've been in the business. Walk them through that, bro.
Sandra and I have been in the business for about 15 years already. Started back in 2005, 2006 range, somewhere in that ballpark. And we've been continuously growing, man, growing and learning and growing as we're going. So about 15 years together, Sandra and I together as a team, and from there started developing, adding a few people to the staff, a few people to the team, but overall 15 years so far.
Wow. Congratulations, brother. 15 years. How many career sales, bro? Because I know
it's over 3,300 right now, plus somewhere around that ballpark. So it's a big database. We're blessed to have a lot of customers on our database that are really connected and tied into our database. A lot of past clients, referrals, some of their kids from the parents now calling. So it's pretty fun, man, to watch, everything that has been developed within time, right? Everything takes time. Elmer was talking about just prior. And I don't know if Navarro didn't get connected.
I think Navarro's back, but I want to he's actually on here, but I want to give you the time, and then I'll bring him back on.
Well, basically, it's all about time, man. Time, consistency, habits, and I think we can break it down back to obviously foundational business as to where you're going to take it, what's your true purpose, and how long it takes to build it. Right? It's a consistent grind. Year after year after year, and if we break it down as day after day after day, until finally things start kind of falling on its place, right? And that's one of the things that we need to learn in this business. We have to be patient, but at the same time we have to be aggressive. Aggressive meaning preparing ourselves on a day-to-day, with the right mindset to go out and execute our day despite of what's happening around us. My biggest thing. And I think if we tie into all the speakers so far, up to me, everything is about mindset. How do we prepare our mindset, to establish a great attitude, to establish a good, positive vibe so that we can go out and conduct ourselves to the best of our abilities, and we can go out and compete on a day-to-day basis despite of what happens around the world.
Absolutely, my brother. Absolutely. What are, dude, I know you read book. I see you every morning checking in with your books. What are your top books that you read, bro? that you've
I
read?
I have a lot, man. It's hard to say what are my top books. I go from, from mindset to business building, to spiritual. So there's so many books I can mention, and so many because I've read so many books already, and I'm looking forward to read so many more.
Right.
But all I can tell you is I'm a big habit guy. I'm big in discipline, and I'm big in self development. I'm in the stage of my life, personal and business life, where I'm obsessed with personal development. I believe that personal development is the key for everything. If you grow personally, you will eventually naturally just grow in all aspects of life, business, family, and in all aspects of life. So we're just trying to become better human beings in society, man, being better individuals to impact the world in the right way and contribute to others. And hopefully the process of the Acevedo team, my business, our family that we're creating and we're building, we're hoping to impact others around us, that through the process of our building process, from the learning experiences, that we're now able to go out and share with other people, and hopefully empower them to believe that if I could build something, we could all do it, as long as we create the right habits, the right discipline in our life, and we stay consistent with the process and believe and have faith it's going to happen. Eventually it's going to start, everything is going to start falling in its place. I'm an example of that. It took me years, and even right now, I feel I'm starting to figure things out barely, right? And I'm excited for what's coming, because I start establishing more discipline in certain areas. I start establishing more understanding on certain areas, and I'm excited for the growth that is coming, because I feel that Ricardo is barely starting to figure things out. So, I'm obsessed with learning and getting better every single day.
I love it, bro. I love it. And the common thread, man, between all you leaders, man, it's like, you're getting better and better and better. You're putting the old self out, and then you're continuously bringing the newest version of yourself. And I saw you come on social media here. You've been coming on pretty heavy, actually, in the last year or so that I've seen you come on, and you've had you've pivoted and you've adjusted, and I think that's what makes you a leader. And what's your vision, bro? Like, what's your vision in the next 5 years? Do you have any idea what that is? What are you building?
Vision for myself, or for just in general?
Yeah, just for yourself. Like, what are you building in the next 5 years? Like,
we're gonna empower other people to be successful in the business. That's what we're gonna do. I've had the blessings to be able to be involved in such a great business that has given me the opportunity to grow in so many aspects. Now I got a title in, and I got to continue to lead, but I got to do my job now. I got to go back, and I got to empower our society. I got to empower the people that knows about our career, that knows about our business, that knows about our family. And I got to utilize that now to empower others and build others among our team, among our society, among our sphere, because that's what my true job is. I'm working on getting better so that I can impact others, through the experiences of my hard work and dedication to my self-development.
I love that, bro. I love it. What would you say? I mean, what would you say agents should be focusing on right now? Top two things.
Right now, it's obviously lead generation. I think more than ever, based on the circumstances that we're facing, we have to be surrounded by great like-minded people, meaning by positive environments, but good, obviously, cultures. If you're solo and you don't know where you're going, because it's one of those things right now, we got people that just started or haven't had that good momentum going in their business, is you have to team up yourself with a good group of people. Find a good team, find a good office, find a good environment where there's a good culture, where you're going to be able to feed off of that. And then based off of that culture, you'll be able to nurture and create business, because that leader or that environment is going to put you in the right path, in the right environment, so that you can take off a little faster than if you were on your own. Find an office, find a team that is generating leads based off of the volume of business that they have, that they're going to be able to get you on your feet faster and quicker than you trying to figure it out on your own. There's a lot of people out there that is doing really well, that you can team up yourself, Go, learn, apply, ask questions. Don't be afraid. Don't want to be that guy. I know it all when I don't know nothing, but our ego gets on our way. It's go and ask questions. Surround yourself with the right people. And I'm sure if you do that, you're going to get yourself through this matter faster. You're going to get in a good momentum, and you're going to start picking up your personal business, with the right environment around you.
I love what you're about, bro. Like I remember early on, I was only 2 years in the business. You came into one of my open houses, and the half-acre lots right there in Southridge.
Right.
You pulled up, and you're like, "Hey, just want to introduce myself." I'm all about relationships, bro, and that meant a lot to me, and just meeting you in that moment, and that's who you are, bro. Every single day, and I think that was what was that like 8 years ago or something that when we met.
It's been a while, man. But let me tell you this: I've never been afraid, or I've never thought of myself I'm better than anybody else. For me, not to want to pick up the phone or be afraid to go out and introduce myself. Man, I'm the guy. Whatever it takes to build relationship, whatever it takes to establish new relationship that is going to open up opportunity for me to grow, to connect with new people, to establish opportunities. I'm there, man. I'm front row. I'm all about getting better. I'm all about meeting the right people. I'm all about being humble to ask questions as I need. And if I don't know, man. Step up and ask.
Exactly. Right? Just ask. That's a huge nugget for success. I think that people should ask questions, bro, and the right questions, right? When you got 2 minutes, because I'm going to go ahead and bring on someone else. I'm going to bring on Mr. Danny, just let's just see. I got
So if I got 2 minutes, let's do this, okay? If you obviously are in this moment as in general as a realtor, and you're trying to get yourself in the right direction, whether you're struggling or whether you're doing okay. You have to build yourself into a good fundamental routine on a day-to-day basis. I think some of the other people that was on the call as well, they share the same thing. Is what do you do to prepare yourself mindset on a daily basis to go out and execute your day, right? Because every day we wake up and there's days we want to do it and there's days we don't feel like doing it. But how do we get ourselves in the right mindset to be able to be in the best of our abilities to go out and execute our day to its best? It's by having habits on a daily basis that allow us to stay consistent within our process, to keep our mindsets as focused as possible, to go out, meet, greet, or call and interact with people so that we're in the best mental state of mind so that we're able to execute at its best. It's have a routine, have a ritual that you go off of on a day-to-day basis that is going to get you in the best state of mind to be out and be your best, out into your environment where you're going to go and execute business.
I love it, bro. And thank you for your time, bro. It's an honor. Like, truly, it's an honor to have you here today live. And even though we had technical difficulties, we were able to get you.
I'm glad we were able to get through, man.
I appreciate your time, my brother. I acknowledge you for your leadership and everything that you're doing. And I'm excited to see your growth here. And let's collaborate, my friend. Thank you so much for being on today.
Good luck to all of you guys and have a great day.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Go ahead and bring on the next speaker. So I'm going to go ahead and bring on Mr. Danny Navarro next. And then we'll bring on Miss Annette because we had to shuffle a little bit. So Mr. Danny, you ready to go, bro? All right. So 3, 2, 1. Go.
There we
go. Navarro. Yeah,
cool,
you're
cool.
good, bro. Damn.
There we go.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool, bro. Thank you so much. So, again, your story, my friend, share it with everybody, your story. You have one of the most inspiring stories I've ever heard in my life. So go ahead and share that with everybody, bro.
And just thanks for Ricardo, man, because he's just look up to him, inspired by what he's doing. Super inspired. So I mean, just going back, I've been in the business since 2015. Basically back in 2004, I got convicted for selling drugs, got sentenced to 120 months. From 18 to 27, I was incarcerated in federal prison. And 2015, I got my real estate license. I was granted my real estate license after about a year and a half of fighting for it. And I've been in the business for 5 years. So it's been a big blessing. Very grateful for everything that I've been through. and everything that I'm still going to go through as well. So so I've been working with builders and investors for the last 2 years, and then just recently I started doing a lot of development myself.
That's very cool, bro. Thank you so much for sharing that story, bro. And to think that you literally fought for your license for a year and a half. You know what I mean? A lot of people get in the business kind of like, yeah, I got my real estate, it's no big deal. But you made that. I mean, you had a fight to actually even just get on the court. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly how I felt.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. So thank you for sharing your story. What would you say, bro, kept you going? And what kind of books are you reading, podcasts? What do you listen to, bro? How do you feed your mind?
Well, I mean, I wanted to change my life. So, you know, in prison, I always, you know, wanted to do, you know, I always made it every day that I'm going to come out better than how I came in, you know, and just every day get better and better and better. And honestly, just to get a second chance at life. I went in so young, so I never really had an opportunity to really experience life. So just to have the opportunity to have a second chance at a normal life was all I asked for. And I've been blessed with that. So, but my first book that I came across was Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, Tony Robbins, Unlimited, Unleash the Power Within, Ziegler. I mean, those were the first books. Les Brown. Those were my teachers, my mentors at the time that helped me get by the day-to-day challenges that I had to face from, you know, growing up in prison.
Love it, brother. Love it, man. Just you're an amazing human being, bro. Thank you for authentically sharing your story. It's just humbling and inspiring. And to see what you're doing today, bro, it's incredible, man. I mean, just walk people through some of your days, bro. I see you in developments all the time. And what do you do?
Yeah. So, I mean, we're still selling real estate, you know, still working. I don't have a big database as Ricardo. So like mine's a little smaller and I don't have that many past clients yet, but just working, you know, loving on my clients, my past clients, my center of influences, family members and friends, just everybody. We're still selling real estate. So at the end of the day, that has not changed. But on the side, you know, we've been working with a lot of builders. So besides that, I'm selling a lot of land, mostly in LA, close to downtown Los Angeles, anywhere where they can tear down a house and build anywhere from 2 units to 20 units, whatever the number is. And learning that process and seeing, you know, and we'll list their houses for them. We'll list it after they're done. We'll rent them for them. But I learned that process, and I made really they earned a lot of money from what I'm doing, from what I was selling them. So, you know, I started developing on my own, and I currently got like 5 projects, anywhere from a single family house to the biggest one that I'm inspired to do is a 17-unit apartment building in Boyle Heights.
Wow, bro. Wow. A single family to a 17-unit, bro. That's extraordinary, brother. Extraordinary.
So super inspired, and to just, you know, to eventually just, you know, have those all cash flow at some point.
Absolutely. And what do you do? I mean, walk people through your day. Like, what does a day in your life look like? Lead generation, like for something like that, and everything else that you're doing.
So I mean, I'm still trying to get up as early as Ricardo. You know, trying to get up to like 3:30. I can't right now.
What time are you waking up? What time are you waking up?
Like 5, honest, like 5, sometimes 4:30.
All right, cool.
Trying to get that reading in, trying to, you know, I don't start my day without meditation and praying. And that's the first thing, and writing in my journal, and just really thankful, you know, writing out what I appreciate every day, writing out my goals, and just, you know, working, you know, getting closer to God, getting deeper into my prayers, getting deeper into my meditation. That kind of just gets me started for the day. I don't start my day without that. And then obviously we go into, you know, exercising, working out. And then right now I've been going to my projects anywhere from like 7 o'clock in the morning to 8:30. And then 8:30 is just lead gen, you know, looking for product, always constantly looking for business, prospecting on the phones. And then that just can go anywhere from like 5 o'clock to 7. And then that's it. And then just, you know, obviously going home and spending time with the family.
Got it. Thank you so much, brother. What kind of systems are you using? Who are you calling? Like, who are you calling?
Right now, I'm just calling past clients and center of influence. And then basically looking for teardowns. Anything where we can build anywhere from, like I said, anywhere from 2 units, 3 units, 5 units, just looking for land in downtown LA, close to downtown LA. And that's pretty much it. So that's kind of the same as a just sold call. Like, hey, we just sold a home in a neighborhood on 123 Lane. We have another property that another buyer that's looking to move in the neighborhood or to buy a property in the neighborhood. So that's what I'm calling. So
what did you do specifically, bro, when this whole craziness started to happen? Did you do anything different to pivot, or did you keep everything the same? What did you do, bro?
I mean, most importantly is just, like what Ricardo talked about, having a strong mindset. This is the time. I'm excited about that time because a lot of real estate agents are leaving the business. And, I get coached by Eric Algado right now, and he's just helping me on my mindset to just kind of really, look for product more and just go deeper into everything that we're doing, which is like most importantly, just lead gen right now, looking for product. At the end of the day, surrounding yourself with a strong mastermind group with guys that are doing more business than you so you can learn and grow from them. And that's it. I mean, that's how we look at this. Is the perfect storm. This is the perfect time to gain more market share and take more listings and sell more homes at the end of the day.
I love it. Yeah, you're right, bro. I mean, when there's less people in the business, there's more opportunity. That's exactly what I mean. When I went through 2009 to 2015, a lot of people would ask me, it's like, dude, are you doing okay in the business? And everybody had basically fallen, like a lot of people had exited the business. There was more opportunities. There was a lot more opportunities. So that's so.
I didn't change my schedule. I was still getting up, even though, there was, 50-50. I was working out of the house or I was coming into the office. I still was getting up at the same time and starting my day and working from home.
Love it, my brother. Love it. How has that adjustment been for yourself?
It's been good. I mean, I'm spending more time with my family, and getting more done in the time that I should be. I mean, we don't. I'm just getting more done in less amount of time that I could have done before this COVID thing. So being more efficient.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy how it happened?
Crazy. Yeah.
It was one of my mentors, what he says is like, it's just old tapes that we play in our head that we said we have to do something to get something done, but they're just simply old tapes. They're really old tapes. And, obviously we were proving it, you're proving it. You're out there making it happen. You pivoted, you adjusted, and you're still making it happen.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. So
yeah. Cool, brother. So what would you say another, I mean, if somebody is out there that's newer in the business, that's starting off, what kind of advice would you give that individual right now?
Just get some good mentors, get some good mentors and coaching, because that's going to determine your career and who you're surrounding yourself with. And I was very blessed to meet some great mentors and coaches from me getting out of jail. And that set me into the path that I'm on right now. And just to always stay coachable, stay humble. And, right now I'm learning so much from new construction to still trying to sell homes and managing my time and managing my family time. So just, always staying coachable, staying humble and always growing and just trying to learn.
Very cool, bro. That's key. Staying humble and staying learning. Yeah. I mean, keep asking questions, being intuitive, and definitely surrounding yourself with the right person, with the right people. Exactly. What would you say right now, bro? I mean, you got a couple more minutes here. So what else would you like to share? Like something that you think is really important for people to hear?
Just don't give up. Don't give up. 2004, I thought my life was over. When they told me I was going to do like 15 years, I got a deal, which was considered 10 years, and I was happy to take my deal. And I thought my life was over. I thought I was going to get out at 30 something years old, and I thought my life was over. So just never give up. I mean, it's never too late. I seen dark for so long at the end of the tunnel. Like there was no light at the end of the tunnel. Not to 2014 where I started to see some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. Then, I got into real estate, and that was a whole other journey that I had to go through, learning how my skills, learning how to sell homes, learning how to list homes. So at the end of the day, just, don't give up, have faith, and just trust and have faith in, God or Buddha, whatever you believe into, a higher power, and just do not give up, because there will be light at the end of the tunnel. And, and just now, like, I mean, I've just been blessed. I'm engaged. No one really knows it, but I have a baby on the way. So yeah, it's amazing. I'm living my dream life. So
you're literally living the dream life, and dude, congratulations, by the way. That's extraordinary, brother. What would you say? I mean, like for somebody that is going through that motion right now, because dude, like what you went through and you chose to keep going. Why did you choose? Like, what's your why? What's driving you?
I wanted to do something, you know, when in jail. I mean, obviously I wanted to do something into real estate, and I wanted just to do some, so that just becoming successful in real estate was one thing when I got out. But I mean, and then driving to be good in real estate when I was out and in real estate, and helping my family as well, helping my family, helping my parents, helping my future family, which now that's like a whole other why that I have that I'm barely starting to realize right now. So family at the end of the day is what really drives me to help them, because if it's me at the end of the day that's going to change the cycle, and which I'm doing right now. I'm breaking the cycle that we had in the past.
Yep. I love that, bro. I love that, man. And I could listen to you for freaking 2 hours, bro. You're freaking extraordinary, man. Thank you so much for who you are. I acknowledge you for your leadership. I acknowledge you for who you are in the world, and such an inspiration for so many people out there. And I would say, for a lot of the youth as well, a lot of people out there that are looking for leadership like yourself, that that also get blindsided by maybe some other priorities, man. But you got your heart and your soul in the right place, bro. Thank you for who you are.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for working with this whole little situation. We got to cut out a little timing thing. But I'm going to go ahead and, is there one last thing? Because you basically got like another minute. One last thing you want to share with people before we get you off?
I think that's it. Just be inspired in whatever it is you do. Whatever it is that you're doing in real estate, be inspired, because as I'm growing, as I'm learning, like I'm just seeing what I like to do and what my talents are. And just, when I'm really like right now, like I love finding land for builders. I love doing that right now. And I'm so inspired in it that, when it's not even work. So whatever it is, there's different parts of business that you can do in real estate, and find what you're inspired to do, and just, go from there.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Because life is too damn short to do something you're not inspired by. Exactly.
Yep.
Bro, thank you so much for blessing us with your time today, man. I really appreciate you being on, and congratulations once again with your baby and everything you're doing, my brother. Thank you.
You have a good day, brother.
You too, bro. Peace. All righty, Miss Annette, let's go ahead and bring on our next amazing, extraordinary speaker. 3, 2, 1, boom. Miss Annette Fraley, what's going on? How we doing? I can't hear you though. Let's see. Maybe your audio. Let's see. Yeah, no audio is picking up. The other thing you could probably do is log out and log back in. That might work. Yeah, maybe log out and log back in. Maybe that might work, and then we'll go ahead, because I can't hear you. Let's see. Let me go ahead and log back in. So okay. So I'm gonna get Miss Annette back on right now. Let's just go ahead and see, log back in. Let me see here 1 second. Just so you guys know, I'm managing everything I can while we're live. So I appreciate you guys being on once again. So just give it another moment. That way Miss Annette can come back on. She's a powerhouse lady. She owns a brokerage in the city of Corona. She does a lot of investment flips. Her and her husband run an amazing organization. So I'm super excited for you guys to hear her story and what she has to say. So let's just see if she is able to come on once again. Give me 1 second here. Log back on, please. All right, cool, guys. So thank you guys for your patience once again. So what do you guys think so far? What do you guys think so far? What can you guys please do me this favor? Reach out to the speakers that have been on. Reach out to them, thank them. If they inspired you, if they made a difference, if they made you realize something new, if they give you something that was maybe that one thing you needed to hear, please reach out to them, because understand that when you are out there and you're successful, it takes a ton of freaking work. There's a lot of stuff that we go through as individuals. So make sure you reach out to these guys, because even though they're doing really well, just think about what they had to go through to get here. So what platform am I using for the live session? The live session is called B.live. B.live. So thank you guys so much. B.live. I'm going to go ahead and punch that in. So Miss Annette looks like she's logging back in here. Go ahead and I'm gonna drop it in the comments. Miss Annette, can you hear me? I can hear you now. Yay! All righty, Miss Annette Fraley, we're back live. What's going on? How we doing?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, managing this whole thing, it's interesting. You know, with the on live. So I knew it's going to be a little rough, but I wanted to make it happen, and I want to be authentic. You know, so we're making it happen.
Just got to keep it real. It's technology.
Yeah, you gotta keep it real. So, Miss Annette Fraley, thank you so much for your time. Why don't you share everybody your story? Who you are?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, my name's Annette Fraley. I started my way to real estate in the mortgage industry in 1998. Before I got my real estate license in 2005. Became a licensed broker in 2009. We opened up our own company in 2016 and have been running Synergy One, now Synergy One Group with EXP. So we're super excited about that change as well. We have an escrow company, Safeguard Escrow. We also run a couple of We Buy Ugly Houses Homevestor franchises, along another couple businesses as well. That's kind of my story, how I got into the industry. It's kind of funny because Steve and I, my husband, got licensed at the same time in 2005, thinking we were going to be this dynamic duo power couple. Never worked together, ever. Literally never did any deals. But it was cool because we learned a lot. The market hit. So we got, licensed in 2005, fast forward 2007. The market was shifting. 2008, the crash. Steve became an REO asset manager. I had left my job, which I probably made like 80 grand a year, which I thought was a lot of money at the time. Right. And I was thinking, what did I do? Like, why did I leave that to get into this business? I hardly know anything about real estate. The market is tanking. So I started doing BPOs because I came from a default servicing background. So I was told do BPOs, and well, you can probably get in our system. So that's kind of what I did. I did a ton of BPOs against my coaching because at the time I was doing Mike Ferry one-on-one coaching, and they're like, "What? Short sales, BPOs? You're wasting your time. Stop it." But whatever, I was just doing whatever I could at the time to stay afloat, to be honest with you. And it just transitioned into a few, an REO account and then another one and then another one. Steve ended up actually, becoming an REO asset manager as well. So yeah, it just transitioned into that. And then, REO, eventually all that business went away in around 2012 or so. So it was time to pivot for us again. So we kind of pivoted back into the investment side, and that's kind of what we've been doing ever since then is buy, fix, and flip. I would say probably as the market's gotten tighter the last couple of years, we've started doing more buy and hold stuff. So kind of building a rental portfolio. And now, since March, it feels like it's time to pivot again. Like, the world is changing as we know it. And that's kind of where we're at. It's a little bit about my story.
Thank you so much for sharing that. It's really amazing. And I always like to have people share their story because just to see where you're at and where you came from, because a lot of people are just getting their journey started, right? So you could really see how that happens. And you mentioned something, right? The industry's shifting. What kind of things are you doing to shift with the market? Like right now, what are you implementing as far as changes goes for your business?
As soon as this all hit, there was an adjustment period for us of, wow, we got to stay home and you got to slow way down that we're not used to. So I think that was the first adjustment that we had to kind of come to grips with and terms with, of just slowing things down a little bit. And I think when you do that, it allows a creative space to open up for yourself. It allows a space of like you really looking at what's important. What do you want to do? What are you trying to create? And we've shifted from, flipping basically. So we're not really actively buying homes unless it's, super deep deals. really looking at other opportunities, other business opportunities. Number one, I think is a big thing that we're looking at, and focusing on our other businesses as well. But I think as far as like, my transactional business, if you would, like real estate, is like one of the things I realized is, I've always considered myself a listing agent and just really focusing on listings, like probably, 90% of my business is listings. I mean, I very rarely work with buyers unless they're like family or friends or something like that. So pivoting right now, our buyer market is so huge, with the rates the way they are, is really like opening up that opportunity with the buyers and focusing on that, and that being an opportunity. Yeah, we do some direct mail marketing, and I realized too, it's like another pivot is online marketing, because everybody is online. So It's like having the awareness that it's time to stay flexible and roll with the punches, if you would, of what's going on. And really putting, the efforts in online marketing and focusing a little bit more on buyers. And I think specifically, you always kind of try to focus on the higher price points as a listing agent. Mm-hmm. But I think right now, when we strategically look at the market, you start to realize that the areas that are still having growth is those economic areas that are getting a bump, because the buyers, the interest rates are so low that there's an influx of buyers that can now hit the market.
Exactly.
So that's it's kind of one of the things that we're pivoting and focusing on as well.
Thank you for sharing that. And I'm asking everybody this question. So what time do you wake up? What time do you wake up?
Well, my alarm goes off at 5:45, but I'm usually up out of bed by 6:15.
Okay.
Yeah, by 6:30.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wish it could be like 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. like Ricardo. He's very inspiring to me, and I do follow him all the time for that. So thanks, Ricardo.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. So 5 a.m. And then you already shared, what kind of changes you're doing. So what share with everybody, what's your why? And then like, what do you do? What you do? What drives you?
My biggest why is my family, is one of the things, but within that, there's a real desire for me to not only like share with my family, but my friends. I'm a Latina, like my heritage, people where I come from, is that you could do this. Like anybody can do this. And this is the thing that I love about real estate, and I love about being an entrepreneur, because everybody has the exact same 24 hours and the ability to create true wealth. And if we really look at like successful people or wealthy people in the world, like not just our world closely, but in the entire world, most of the wealth in the world, like I would say probably 90% or more of the wealth in the world, is created through real estate. And we all have that opportunity. And I feel like as real estate agents, we forget that. And we become transactional, and we're just chasing that next transaction. But it's really, how do you create true wealth with the opportunities that we have? Because instead of selling that investor that property, it's like, how do you create the opportunity where you can do it? How can you create to start raising debt equity and start using other people's money so you can buy that house for yourself and invest it and get a renter in it instead of renting a house, or all those little things. And I feel like, being in the position that we are, like where we can create that. And I'm like, if I can create it, like, so can you. And it's simple. Right. And I want everybody to get that for themselves. I really do. This is completely doable.
You know what? I just remembered right now, I did so many investments. Like we did over 550 through 2009 and 2014. I didn't make the profit on those things. I did that for another investor, 550 transactions, averaging $2 million. And what you just said is absolute key. Own it. You become the investor. You become that person, partner with somebody.
For sure. And there's so many great mentors. I mean, just everybody that you've had on the call today so far, like we don't have to go out and reinvent the wheel, guys. It's just go out, find a mentor, follow them, and just the biggest thing is be prepared to be disciplined and take massive action on what you really want. You got to get so crystal clear about it, because otherwise it's just not going to happen, you know?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So you got about 3 more minutes, Miss Annette. You got about 3 more minutes here, but it's just like you've dropped so many nuggets in such a short period of time. What is one thing that you would like, 1 or 2 things that you would say to somebody out there that is a newer agent or somebody that wants to get to that next level? What would you say to them as advice?
You know, I would say take a moment. You know, I always say take a moment to slow down so you could speed up. You know, sometimes we're going so fast, we're just going through the motions in life. And I think it's so important for us to go inside and look inside yourself, like what inspires you? What is your why? Why are these things important to you? And really get clear on it and take massive action. Like, I can't stress that enough, that we have to remember, like, the mediocre is not going to get it done, you know? So if you want it, go after it. And it's there for the taking, you know?
Yeah. How do you got so much fire, Miss Annette? How much you got so much fire? Like, I met you the first time. I think we were briefly at that brokerage, and we met you and Steve. Man, you guys have always been on top of it. Boom, 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 making it happen. How do you bring that fire every single day?
You know, Steve is a huge part of that for sure. Absolutely. He inspires me, and I think it's surrounding yourself with people that inspire you. Align yourself with people that are doing bigger and better things than you. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Remember that, because there's so much out there for us to do and learn, and more importantly, give. Like, there's other people that, you know, there's people that will share with you, and then you can also go and share with other people. So I think if you remember that, and I'm just built of service. My mom is the same way. And I think if you can remember that, man, there's so much to be fired up about.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Annette. I just want to acknowledge you for your time. Thank you for adjusting with the time a little bit. I know that you had to wait a little bit longer than your speaking time. Thank you for working with us. Thank you for sharing all those nuggets. And I know people can reach out to you via social media as well, right? To ask you questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I acknowledge you for your leadership and bringing that fire. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. And thank you for putting a platform like this on together for our industry. It's so needed. You know, for all those people out there that are listening, that are inspired, reach out to myself, reach out to anybody on this panel, guys, because you could do it too.
I love that. 100%. We can all make it happen. Thank you so much, Miss Annette. I appreciate you. See you later.
You're welcome. Thank you. Ciao.
All right. Bye-bye. All righty. So our next speaker is Mr. Alan Forniss. Let me go ahead and bring him on here. 3, 2, 1. Whoa, Mr. Alan Forniss. Welcome, brother. How you doing today?
I'm good, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing outstanding, brother. I'm living the dream out here, man.
Love it, man. No, hey, you know what? I've been watching, and dang, man, like there's just so much talent, so much experience that those of you out there are not taking notes. I mean, you should be taking notes, because there's some true, really good nuggets that have been thrown out, and I'm even like, you know, jotting down some things.
Me too, bro. I'm over here like taking notes down and everything, right?
right. No, so.
But dude, thank you so much, man. I truly appreciate you tuning in today. I appreciate your time, and just share with people your story, bro. Start them off with that.
Yeah, man. So, you know, I started in the business in '99. It was a really good year when I kind of started, because the refinance boom was just about peaking, and, you know, anybody with a pulse, you know, could basically get a loan, you know what I mean? So yeah. I came in at a very opportune time. And then, of course, within that course, you know, I was able to get licensed. I did mortgage for about 7.5 years. And once that industry started, you know, taking a little bit of a nosedive, I started, you know, venturing out and worked in some REO companies, oversaw property preservation. So I kind of got a taste of that world. And then about 2013, I decided, hey, you know what? I think I want to get back into the real estate game. Got my license reinstated and been doing it ever since. And I was with Keller Williams, you know, from the beginning up until about a couple weeks ago. Made the switch over to EXP, and that's kind of where I'm at. But at the end of the day, you know, I feel, and I think Annette really touched on this, which was, you know, anybody can do this business. Don't get me wrong. It's not rocket science, but it does take a certain mindset and a certain skill level, because again, what we do, it isn't that easy. You know, a lot of us get into this business or look and see on, you know, $1 million listing and think, oh my gosh, it's so glamorous. And hey, we can just go out and make a killing. Guess what? They don't show you behind the scenes. You know, they don't show you all the blood, sweat, and tears that, you know, obviously take place behind the scenes. So again, it's one of those things. If you're going to do it, you got to go 100%. And, you know, again, is it for everybody? Maybe not. But it isn't, like I said, it's not rocket science, but there is a science to it. And I'm sure a lot of us out there can testify to that. So
absolutely,
it's been a blessing. It's definitely been a fun journey, you know, a learning journey at the same time as well.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. And what would you say, you know, for, you know, I know you just shared your mindset, what do you listen to, bro? Like, who do you listen to? What do you read? Podcasts?
Oh man, John C. Maxwell, huge on my list. Definitely John C. Maxwell. You know, I listen to Grant Cardone, Gary V, Leo Robles.
Yeah, what's up, bro? Thanks, man. Appreciate
no, you know, and I'm a true believer in whatever industry you're in, whether it be, you know, our industry, whether it's if you're an athlete, you need a mentor, you need, you know, that coach, you need that training, and that's huge. And I didn't really latch onto that mentality until like after like 2 years being in the business. And when I started seeing these big producing agents, and they all had that one common denominator, which was they had a coach. They had somebody that, you know, obviously kept them, one, accountable, but number two, was always, you know, in their ear with mentorship. And I think that's huge, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, we all get a little bit of an ego at some certain, I guess,
stages.
Stages of our career or in our life. And so I thought, I'm doing well. I don't need a coach. But you don't realize it's not even so much of the fact of needing a coach or a mentor for your business. It's also sometimes for your personal, you know. And I'm a true believer, and I think you and I spoke about this one time. Everything has to be, you know, aligned, spiritual, you know, business, personal. So if anything's out of whack, it's going to affect the others. So I'm really trying to level myself out. And I think this pandemic has allowed me, I'm sure for a lot of people, to be able to do that, you know, take a step back, kind of reevaluate, you know, wherever you are in life, whether it's, you know, spiritually, business wise, personal. So it's been a good thing.
Bro, what you just said. It's a huge nugget for people. You know, it really is about, you know, diving into that and being humble to like ask people for help and learn from other people that have already been there. And I think that's one of the things that makes the greats in the business become great. And the ones that, like, you know, you could easily just say like, no, I'm not going to ask anybody. I'm going to close. I'm going to retreat. You know, and you chose to continue to go out there and learn. So that's a big key for out there, everybody that's listening. So what time you wake up, bro? I'm going to ask you that question. What time you wake up?
Yeah. So now with this pandemic,
like 9 o'clock. Like,
yeah, exactly. I just woke up like an hour ago, man. No. You know, with this pandemic, obviously, because we're all working remotely and from home, I, you know, waking up maybe like 7:30. But on a normal basis, when things were, you know, a little more normalcy, I guess, if you will, about 5:30, 5:45, hit the gym, back home, and then get into the office. Sometimes, you know, between 8:30, depending on what I had going on for the day.
Yeah,
but that's typically, and that's another thing, you know, that's something I saw a common denominator with a lot of high producing agents, and then anybody within a sales, I guess, background, they would say, I wake up early and this is what I do. And so again, I think Annette kind of touched on this. You know, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. You know, it's like, look at what someone's doing and mimic it, make it your own, obviously. But at the end of the day, it's not like you're trying to reinvent something that hasn't been done, you know? So that's kind of what I, you know, started implementing at a very early stage, with, you know, me being back into the real estate world. I really thought, hey, if I want to make it, we all have the same hour, you know, the 24 hours that she mentioned, but let me see how I can gain a little more by waking up maybe a couple hours before everyone else out there, you know what I mean? So that's definitely going to help.
I appreciate that, bro. What would you say is like 2, 3 things that you should be focusing on right now, right? Because obviously there's changes, right? Obviously there's changes in the industry. what are 2-3 things that you're doing different right now that people should be paying attention to?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm really a heavy prospecting agent, so I've always been on the phones. I wasn't a huge door knocker. Obviously, I put that into the game plan. Obviously as a piece of the puzzle, but I've always been a high prospecting phone, with phones. So now what I'm doing is obviously calling still expired and FISBOs, because guess what? People are home. And they're willing to talk right now. Sometimes you got to cut them off and like, hey man, I got to go. It's getting 15, 20 minutes. I got to go now. But no, there's definitely a little bit. What's that?
What is your experience on the phones? Like, tell people about that when you're calling people. Like, how are the conversations?
Now, like, again, they're more willing to talk because their situation has changed. Mind you, a lot of people, because of this pandemic, have lost jobs. At the end of the day, there's so much, I guess, as far as buyers are concerned, I could say the buyer pool has really grown, but the inventory is low. So,
right.
You're having these conversations with these people and letting them know, like, listen, if you're in this position, I have a way to helping you. And I think kind of going back to the beginning of what I was trying to say was that because the pandemic has kind of put a different dynamic in our industry, it's really given us the ability to come and now show, like, look, we're here to help. And I think coming from contribution, opposed to just like, hey, give me your listing, it's really put us in a position now where we can show, like, look, we truly care. And the conversation that I'm having right now, when this first kind of all started, the conversations weren't even about real estate. It was me just reaching out to my sphere and just like, hey, what can I do to help? I have a ton of resources at my disposal. If you're looking for a job, send me your resume. I can send it out for you. Or, hey, how are you guys doing with groceries? Sending out, I sent out a few gift cards, for $100 to some past clients, and they were so grateful with that.
Wow.
And it's just those little things that go a long way, because again,
send me one too.
You got it, man.
I love that, bro. Yeah.
So, I always believe in, you always want to work and have a mindset and will come from abundance rather than scarcity. Mm-hmm. And, I think one of those, I'm really big with quotes, and I think I mentioned this to you a couple of days ago, where it's like, I started like with Wayne Gretzky says, don't play where the puck is, play where it's going to be. And that's kind of where I've taken my business, where I'm trying to see where the business is going and trying to be there, rather than try to like chase after it when it's too late. Mm-hmm. So,
that's huge, bro. That's huge. That's a huge nugget. I hope everybody took account of that. It's like, focus of where it's at. There's a little book that's called Who Moved My Cheese? That I always pivot to a small read, kind of articulates what that quote is. It's just like, you got to pay attention to where everything is going.
Right. Definitely. For sure.
So another thing, like I always see you, bro, so positive, so energetic. You're always out and about. You're always making things happen. Like, what keeps your attitude the way it is? Like, what drives you? What's your why?
My why? I don't want to be broke, man.
Yes,
no, and I'm gonna be real, man. Like, everyone out there says, "Oh, it's not about the money. It's not about the money," and it truly isn't. I'm not gonna say it's all about the money. But we got into this business to do what?
Make money.
To make money and have a better life. At the end of the day. So coming from, where there was times where before I got into real estate, you're constantly worrying about where you're going to get the money to pay for bills, how's the next check going to look? You know what I mean? So obviously that's my big why, you know what I mean? And again, for me, it's not so much of like, hey, that's the focal point. For me, it's more of, again, of course, trying to help others, and being compensated is the end result. But again, I feel, don't chase the money. The money's always going to be there. But at the end of the day, man, like I said, we all got into this business to obviously, create a better life for ourselves, for our families.
Yeah. And so it's energy. Money. I mean, I think that our relationship with money should be healed. I think a lot of people, just like think that they have a connection with that money is something that's bad. Money is money. Imagine we have more money. We got more things to do, more people to impact, more people to help. For sure. Like we could fulfill on our mission in a bigger way, and we need energy, which is money. Money Definitely. Is a translation of that.
Definitely.
So I agree.
Yeah. No, like I said, money definitely is something that I feel depending how it's used, can be used for good, it can be used for bad, obviously. But for me, at least, I feel that I've been blessed enough to where I can now bless others, and obviously that's the main goal and the big why.
Got it. What is something that you wish somebody would have told you early on in the business?
I wish. Oh man, that's a good question, because there's a lot of them. I think for me, probably would have been to get a coach right away. I think I did a lot of, of course, trial and error. I trial and error was huge for me in the beginning, because I didn't have that mentorship or coach. Don't get me wrong, Cal Williams has a great training program, but for me, because of where I was going and what I was doing at the time, I don't feel that I had the proper mentorship and coaching. So I wish somebody would have just got me by the back of the neck and said, "Hey man, go get your coach." And I think I would have probably excelled a lot quicker if I would have got that coach right away. But at the end of the day, like I said, it was all trial and error. And so, I didn't do bad my first year. I think I mentioned to you the other day too, I was rookie of the year, coming in. I did something like 20, 21 sides.
Yeah.
And I know the average
prior expectation, right? You didn't have the expectation of it.
Yeah. And again, it was me being naive, because I didn't realize that, an average agent only does 5 to 7 deals a year. So for me to do that kind of number was, obviously a fantastic thing, and it was a blessing as well. But I think if I would have known, differently, I probably would have put a lot of pressure on myself to where I was kind of like, ooh, maybe I wouldn't have done that many. So it was like, again, me being green, me being a little naive, and then of course just hitting the ground running, man. That's really what it boiled down to.
What would you? I was thinking of another question to ask you, because it just came to me right now. It was about what are you gonna like? Yeah, what's your vision for the next 5 years, bro? What's your vision? Like, what are you creating?
Yeah, so now that I made the move, for those of you who don't know, or for those of you do know, I came to EXP just a week or two ago, and so for me, obviously, it's to build the team. Right now, I have 3 on the team. Hoping to make that a little bit bigger within the next couple of years. But at the end of the day, for me, I just don't see myself grinding it out the way I have been for the last, say, 7.5 years. By the time I'm 55, hopefully sooner, I want to be able to just kind of kick back a little bit more, have, of course, the team still fully functioning, but have that passive income to where I'm not, constantly on the grind, I know that's one thing that EXP does offer, which is, the rev share, and also the stock option, which is great, because that's, basically 401k for me, and for the rest of us within the company. But again, going back to some of the people that were talking prior, investments are huge. Like, we can't, for me at least, you can't be in this industry and, fake the funk. If you're trying to preach and trying to, tell people, hey, you got to buy a house and you got to invest, and you're not doing it yourself. Well, then,
lead by example.
You got to lead by example, brother. Exactly. So.
Well, I think that is our time. We got our next speaker, my brother.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much for your time. I just want to say this, bro. I want to acknowledge you for taking your time.
Definitely.
Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for who you are. Keep making a difference. Keep making those funny ass quotes. I appreciate them.
Love you, brother. Have a good one. Peace out.
Peace out, man. All righty. So we got our next amazing speaker coming on. I'm going to bring on Ms. Rosie Rodriguez. So 3, 2, 1. Boom. What's up, Ms. Rosie? How we doing?
I'm good. I was waiting patiently here, just fiddling.
Hey, thank you for making it happen. Hey, we talked about this. Like, we're doing it live, so it's gonna be. We're gonna take this airplane. It's gonna be rough a little bit sometimes. It's gonna be the way it is.
Leo, I was just thinking, you just pulled off like a one-man show right now, like a one-man conference. Like, you put this whole thing together. You are like. You're the cameraman, you're the promoter, you're the MC. So what an amazing job.
Thank you. And and then while we were I was texting everybody, hey, we need 15 minutes.
That's exactly why I was laughing. You texted me, right? And I was like, this is so funny. Like, you need an assistant now. I don't know.
Absolutely. That's for sure on my to-do list, for sure. Yeah. I'm already getting ideas for the next one.
Great job, though. This is the power of technology, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for being on, Rosie. Thank you for blessing us with your time. For those of everybody out there listening, please tell everybody your story. Tell them who you are.
Okay. Well, my story. So, I heard a couple of different stories on here, and I was just so impressed by everyone. I think I heard Elmer's $1.92 story, and that was
God, yes, that was so good.
that was good. And so, that kind of inspired me a little bit to share. So my story is that I came from absolutely nothing, and very early on, my parents passed away when I was, 13 and 15, and
Wow.
subsequently, we ended up losing our home. And
My
when
God.
that happened, that was kind of traumatic for me. It was 4 or 5 years later. It was just a bunch of complicated things, but I remember my very first call when I was trying to figure that out was to a company called Long Beach Bank. I was at a payphone and I was trying to figure out what the solutions were. And anyways, for a number of reasons, it didn't work out. And from that point on, I said, one day I'm going to buy my house back. And I was just getting into USC, and I was going to go into business, and I was going to figure it out, one day. And so, I got married, bought our first house, and when that occurred, I connected with the loan broker who helped us, and I said, one day when I graduate, would you hire me? And he said, yes. So I went back to him and when I graduated, and I was going to work for $500 a transaction. I didn't care. I had a great degree, but I wanted to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And then he didn't hire me. So I went, no, he didn't hire me. He never called me back, so he missed out, I was cheap labor at the time, right? $500 a deal. So anyways, I ended up opening up the paper. I found a place that was hiring, and I went into the business, and that was in 1996. That's when I got into the business. I learned it really quickly, probably because I was interested. I moved on I became a branch manager within 6 months. A year later, I found that there was another world. I went to the broker world. And then a couple of years after that, I opened up my own mortgage company. I've had that for 20 years. Along the way, I opened up an escrow company, had that for 17 years. And then I kind of got bored in 2004, and I opened up a Keller Williams office, and I had about 150 agents in 2008. And then everybody headed for the hills. I didn't. I was stubborn. I wanted to lose money. So, so I stuck it out. And, made it through the crash. All the companies made it through the crash. I kept my properties. I've invested through the years, and then I had my son. And once I had him, I decided that I was going to have to kind of let one plate go, because I had a very big little piece of meat there to to take care of. So I decided to kind of let go of the least profitable side of my business, and that was the brokerage, owning the brokerage. And so, I know that we've talked about this before, and I want to kind of share. Well, that's my story.
Thank you.
2 years ago, I came across a different real estate model. I joined that, and then today I have over 1,100 agents across the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's been fun.
Yep. Wow. That's extraordinary. In 2.5 years.
Not yet. Yeah. 2.5, I'll be at 1,500. Yeah. 2 more months, I'll be at 1,500 agents. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Congratulations on that. That's extraordinary.
Thank you. And so that's a little bit of my story. Along the way, I had 3 kids and kind of adopted one. So I've got 4. And been married for 25 years. And
wow. You do a little bit of everything, Rosie. What's going on over here? You're taking over the world. All right. Hey, well, I'm gonna ask you a question. So how did you get this brain? Now, like, how did you get your mindset like this? Like, what made you get like this?
That's a good question. And I think that it has to go back to my childhood, where my father's passing at 13 was a surprise. I knew he was sick. I didn't know he was going to pass away. And I was actually the first one to receive the call.
Oh my God.
And then my mother's passing was also a surprise. And I say that I didn't understand what cancer was. She passed away from cancer.
Wow.
But during the time between my mother and my father's passing, you know, my mother didn't speak any English, and so she really relied on us to, you know, write out the check for the mortgage, you know, talk to the schools, I mean, we had to talk to doctors and translate, you know, because she didn't understand English. So I think that very early on, Leo, I had to figure things out. And, you know, it was me and my sister and my brother, but it was just, you just fall into it, right? You fall into it. You have to figure out what you got to do, and then you do it. And
grow. You had to grow at that point.
You had to. Yeah, you're forced into whatever the situation is. And so after she passed, and I was the last one with her too. After she passed, I think that, you know, kind of reality set in, and I'm blessed to have an aunt who moved in with us, and she's been like a second mom. However,
I love your aunt. Yeah.
you know, yeah, she's so cute. All right, like everybody who knows her loves her. She's this little tiny. She is really a four
yeah,
feet
she's 4 foot something. I know. Yeah, I know. She's awesome. She has so much energy.
She does. But I had to. It was just if it was going to happen, it was up to me. Whatever was going to happen, it was going to be up to me. And I knew that I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want to be, you know, I lived in a really bad area. I didn't want to be another pregnant girl, you know, or someone on drugs. I wanted to make something of my life because my parents sacrificed theirs, you know, to give me, you know, every opportunity.
Yeah.
So I kind of adopted an attitude of gratitude. I just became very grateful for what I did have, for the blessings that I was able to, you know, be blessed with, and I decided to make something of my life, and then I got to work. You know, I got to work and just figure things out. So
I felt that, Rosie. Thank you so much for sharing it. I felt that from the heart. So thank you so much for who you are and everything you've been through. And man, that's the fire, right? That's the fire.
You know, I think we only have a limited amount of time. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is promised. And so, you know, ego kind of goes out the door, and fear, because you don't you don't have anything that's guaranteed. You don't really have it. You know, people have a false sense of security. You think that tomorrow something's going to happen. You think that you're going to have 10 years to figure this out, or 5 years. And you know, it's good to play the long game. And in everything that I've done, it's always been about the long game for me. Like I always plan for the future, you know, and the reason I plan for the future is because I don't have any guarantees, you know, of tomorrow, you know. And so if I'm going to spend my time today on whether it's a business, a relationship, or, you know, whatever my hobby is, if I'm going to spend my most valuable time today on something, then it's got to leave a fruit for tomorrow, whether it's a fruit for my kids, or it's a fruit for my business, or if it's my footprint, you know, on this planet, if it's an impact. You know, I would like to, when I am no longer here, you know, have just all these amazing relationships and saying, damn, I miss Rosie.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's going to happen for a long time, right, Rosie? So
yeah, we're good.
we're good. I need you around for 100 more years. Come on now, we got.
I'm here. Oh, I got you. I got like I'm only like at my effective age is like 25. You know, and you know this because you know, like I'm up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just always
you're
excited.
Always yeah. So thank you for answering that question. I was going to ask you what time you wake up, Rosie, but I already know. But everybody should have known that 4 to 5 o'clock. So I guess for, you know, you're speaking on more of a, because you're coming from a business standpoint. You're someone that's hugely passionate about passive income. I think that a lot of more people should be paying attention to that. But just how does someone get into that? Like, what would you say is like some beginning steps for somebody that's just starting off on that track?
Well, I'll kind of go back to my comment before. It's like you have to play the long game. You have to look at the long term, effect of the decision you make. So, you know, someone gets started. You're going to buy your first property, right? So my very first property, I put it on a 15-year note, not a 30, because I figured if I'm going to pay an extra $200, but by the time I'm 35, 40, I'm going to have this property paid off. Why not? I could do an extra $200. So So someone who's starting off, look at the very first purchase you're going to make and strategize. You know, think about that. Don't make it a condo. Don't make it a house. Go buy units, right? Because you can buy as a first-time buyer again. You know, so talk to someone who knows about how to move your money, how to accumulate, you know, assets, wealth, right? Because, you know, what I've learned in this business is that so many people, although they're excellent salespeople, they don't always plan for the future, and so then that means they're working, you know, their whole lives. They're holding on to their job their whole life, and I didn't want to keep my job. I mean, my goal was 35, and I'm out. And then I went and got crazy and did something fun, right? Like open up a real estate office.
Something only you would do when you're bored, Rosie.
yeah. I said, hey, why not, right? But think about what you're doing, and think about how what you're doing this moment is going to create income for tomorrow. You know, if you're purchasing a property, boom. If you're making money in real estate, how are you going to use that as a vehicle? You know, growing a team. You know, if I think of how I do my work, then I think of how I can duplicate my work. And then I look for people that are better at things than I am. Yep. And then I've created leverage, and then I've started building a business, right? Yep. And then walking away from the business. You know, that's you've got to think of that too, right? Are you building something of value? Is it worth something, or is it just a job?
I love what you're saying. I think it's a big missing in our industry that people don't pay attention to that. You know, because I see too many people that are they're doing the same thing they did when they started in the business. 20 years into it, they're still doing the same exact thing. And that's something that people need to slow down. Like you said, start to think and really create something and talk to somebody. Like, hey, humble yourself. Talk to someone that's already doing it, that's accumulated the wealth. I guess I'm going to ask you this question. We've got 2 minutes. So but just really quick, what's your vision for the next 5 years, Rosie?
My vision for the next 5 years, I'd like to be able to that's a good question, Leo.
I know. I put you on the spot there, Rosie.
Okay, so I'd like to have I'm gonna say I'd like to have a net worth of about 50 million. I'm about a fifth of the way there. I'd like to have a net worth of about 50 million. In accumulated, you know, assets, and then in passive income, I would like to have. I think I'd like to be in 5 years. I'd like to be at about 10 million passive.
Wow.
Isn't that a fun idea? Like, you know, isn't that exciting?
I hear freedom. I hear freedom. Freedom. Yeah.
You know, and along with freedom, it's what are you capable of, right?
My God.
And until you take that first step into something that's risky and unfamiliar, you know, you're not going to expand your view. I would have never said that to you, Leo, like 2 years ago.
I know you. I know.
You know, because I probably didn't say it. I said, give me $1 million and I'm good, right?
Yeah.
But it's not. This is something that I said the other day, and I'm going to end with this.
Yeah, because you got like 30 seconds. Let's go. All right.
People say, one day when I buy my house, when I have rentals, when I own my business, when I, you know, lose the weight, when I whatever, you know, they say one day when I. But the thing is that you have to become the person who can attain that. You have to become the person who can create that.
Yes.
And it's all about how you spend your time right now. What are you reading? Who are you talking to? Are you talking to people that have these kinds of goals? I mean, and have a track record for it too.
Right.
You know, or are you stuck in your, you know,
little
in your everyday?
Ms. Rosie, thank you so much for blessing us today. I truly appreciate your energy. I appreciate your story. It moved me. So thank you so much for being on. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon, my friend. Thank you so much. All right. Mr. Joseph Trujillo is up next. What's up, my brother? How we doing? Mr. Worldwide. I can't hear you, though. Wait, hold on. Okay. Are you good? Speak.
I can hear you.
Yeah, there we go. We're good.
Hey, baby. How are you, bro?
Hey, we're doing it up, bro. We're doing it up over here, man. Mr. Worldwide. Man, thank you so much for being on, bro.
Hell of a show, bro. Hell of a show, man. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, my friend. I know you're out there making it happen, being a leader, man. You got your hands into so many different things, bro. You just constantly inspire me when I see you out there, bro. So thank you for being on today. And for those of that don't know your story, again, I ask everybody, share your story, bro. Tell them who you are.
Yeah, bro. I'm just a little kid that was born in a small town, northern New Mexico. Had a Native American midwife who, helped me be born inside of a home. So I was born in a house, and maybe that's my like subliminal calling. I was born in a home, quickly moved out here to California, Southern California, and I grew up in Huntington Park, small apartment in an alley. And I didn't know any better, bro. I just grew up around a family of love. I would never have known that I was growing up under poor conditions. And, I was blessed to have made it out of like the most prominent years of gang activity in Southern California, and just kept grinding, bro. I was an athlete in high school. I was always an overachiever. You would never have known, if you would have seen me and my friends, bro, you would never have known that we were A+ students and all-star athletes in high school, just because we grew up around a lot of gang environment. And so being able to come out of that, I joined the Marine Corps. My dad was a two-time veteran in the Marine Corps during the Vietnam War, so he was one of my early mentors, and I followed right behind his path, joined the Marine Corps, and got out. And then 20 years later, I did 20 years of federal law enforcement, and I brought all that knowledge, all the skill sets, all the strategies that I learned in federal government service, a lot of Marine Corps tactics, and I implemented that into my real estate business, bro. I got started into real estate about 4 years ago. I had this clever idea of selling my own home and not paying commission, right? And so I'm selling my own home, and lo and behold, I get my own buyer, and my buyer had to sell his house. So 3 transactions in 1 month, and I'm like, dude, this is pretty cool,
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
Talk about a way to start, in the business, man.
Yeah, just like that, bro. And it just clicked. I'm like, you know what? I'm good at this, and maybe this is something that I can transition into a second career. So I worked real estate part-time while I was working as a full-time government employee, and it just prospered and grew. And here we are today, my brother.
Wow, man. What a story, brother. Thank you so much for sharing, man. Thank you for showing. Also, I love I love stories, man. I love it. So I learned something new about it that I didn't even know, bro. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm asking everybody this question. What time you wake up?
0 dark 30, bro. I'm a military guy, so yeah, 0 dark 30. So when I travel, I gotta be up before the sun. And sometimes I used to do a lot of travel to other countries, and it doesn't matter. Like my body would acclimate like that, bro. So before the sun rises, I'm up and running. So here in Cali, it's easy 4:30, 5 o'clock. I heard 5 o'clock a lot, and 5 o'clock resonates with me. But I go to sleep early too, bro. I mean, I'm not a late night. A night owl? Nah, man. I get my rest on because I grind.
No wonder you don't text me back, bro.
You don't look this pretty, bro, by getting 4 hours of sleep. Come on, man.
True. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. So talk about what you've done specifically, right? There's a shift happening, obviously. What have you done to pivot?
So yeah, I mean, fortunately for me, bro, not even pre-COVID, we had been shifting for a little while before that. So I have been expecting some kind of change in the market. I thought, actually, I timed it a little wrong. I actually sold one of my own homes like 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, because I wanted to sell top of the market,
Right.
So I knew that there was going to be a change coming. It's been too long on a up. And so in preparation for that, I kind of changed my whole business strategy, so I went from more of an individual agent kind of thought process and planning into team development, organizational structure, and then trying to build something that has a little bit more long-lasting component in order to receive revenues from different areas, different streams, and not just be kind of like a one-trick pony with commissions, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, it makes 100% sense, bro. And walk people through like what kind of business? How are you acquiring your business? Where does it come from? Share that with them. Absolutely.
So initially, when I came into real estate, I did what most great people do: is we tap into our resources. So I actually did have a lot of blessings in having like a really strong built-in sphere of influence. So everybody that I've been working with for the last 20 plus years, all my friends and family, just really dialing into them, but just taking it up an extra notch, bro. I was doing things that most people probably wouldn't feel comfortable doing. Like, dude, like probably my first 10 family transactions, bro, I was buying them the kitchen sink, the refrigerators, the washers and dryers. I was lacing them out, bro. So, but I was able to do that because I had another career, right? So I was earning great income in my other career. So I wasn't so driven by the monetary rewards of commission. I was really, without thinking of contribution and all that, it was bro, it was just the right thing to do. I mean, like for me, it's the love, the reciprocated love that you get in return for bro, to get people into a home is crazy, bro. Like, I don't come from a family. I won't have any inherited homes. You know what I'm saying? So me being able to become a homeowner when I was 19 and buy, 5 homes since then, is just a matter of working hard, grinding, and then be able to, provide more of a legacy for the family. So, it was my SOI, bro. Just loving on them crazy.
Yeah, and dude, I see you on social media, my brother. So tell everybody your social media strategy, because I think everybody always, I'm pretty sure, asks you that. So tell people what they should be doing on social media to blow it up, bro.
Yeah, so I am a huge social media advocate, brother, and so I learned actually social media hustle through some of my other entrepreneurial investments. So a lot of people probably don't know this, but my partner Decatur and I, we actually ran a CrossFit gym before CrossFits were really popular. We ran a CrossFit gym. We actually owned a pretty well-known streetwear brand that we ended up selling off. And so through those kind of marketing and social media ventures, we learned how to kind of put ourselves ahead of our brand. So it's branding is what it is. Like social media is nothing more than your personal billboard on what you want people to see you as in terms of a business owner, an individual, or however you want to portray yourself, right? So that's the way I look at it. I'm like, okay, look, I got as many posts as I want to create many commercials of myself, my brand, who I am. And if they resonate and they connect with that, then all of a sudden you've created a relationship with a stranger that you may never have come across, you may never have met. 7 billion people with phones. Yeah. And it's an endless opportunity of connection. And so, my strategy is simple: put out content that people want to see, keep it 100, show people, tell the story. Like, there's nothing better than stories. Like, right? I mean, stories have been the thing forever and a day. If you share a story that resonates with people, the connection will be a little bit more authentic and a little bit deeper than just saying, hey, I'm a realtor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what's the story? Take people through a journey. It goes deep.
What do you think as far as like what kind of tools can they use to really enhance their social media? Would you recommend like maybe 1 or 2 nuggets there? What kind of tools?
So there's a ton of apps out there that you can certainly use. Like I was doing things like Photoshop, and those were time consuming. I'm not a photo editor and all that kind of stuff. So there's one really great app I'll throw out there. It's called Over, Over. You can like layer and put all these fancy pictures together and crop stuff out, and it looks really, really professional. There's no need to pay a marketing person to do all this stuff for you. You can do it yourself with a little bit of time investment, maybe 5-10 minutes a day max. You don't want to be spending hours on social media. Get your info, plug it out, put it out there. So Over is a golden nugget. I highly encourage everybody to use that for your social media posts.
Love it, brother. Love it. And share with you. I mean, we still got like another 3 minutes, so we got a little bit of time here. Share with it, what is your goal, bro? What do you want to be in the next 5 years?
So my goal, bro, like, let me tell you, my goal is kind of related to what I consider to be one of my really strong character traits, and that's building people. And so, like, in all my 25 years, bro, that's what I bring to real estate, is that experience of creating and taking somebody from point A to point Z and building them to be better than I am, right? I've been blessed to be able to sell a lot of transactions in a year because I connect with people and I bust my ass to do it. But my goal is to make sure that everybody grows, bro. So on my team, like right now on my team, I have 34 agents with California Home Care.
Wow.
And to touch on what Rosie said, like, I want my 34 agents to earn 10 million a year in passive income in 5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my goal. And for them to build people underneath them that are creating 10 million in residual income. So the development of that kind of organizational structure, it requires strong leaders, right? And you, Rosie, everybody in this entire panel, bro, are phenomenal leaders. And like giving back to our agents to get them to grow bigger and better than us is my goal, bro. That's my goal. It's not me. It's a bigger viewpoint.
Bro, I love it. And share with everybody why do you do what you do? What's your why, bro? Besides your beautiful Penny, because
Penny True,
bro. I love you, dude. Your daughter is adorable. Yeah.
So my why is like, why the hell not? Like, why? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the hell not be the best version of yourself? Why the hell not provide for your family? Like maybe your generations before weren't able to provide for you. Why the hell not build a legacy? Why the hell not have a healthy life, a great career, a beautiful family, and bring that all together? There's no reason why we can't. Right. So alignment, be around the best people possible, and you'll definitely be able to attain that. Definitely.
Love it, dude. That's nuggets, bro. Nuggets. What would you say, bro? I know that's like bro, like the other one, right? What would you say is maybe a top read or a top podcast or something you listen to, brother, to help you to develop your mindset?
Yeah, bro. Tim Grover, bro. Tim Grover, the one of the personal coaches for Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. Phenomenal, bro. If you guys have not read his book, listen to his podcast or his YouTubes, dial in. Like, I'm a big sports junkie. That's my thing. But yeah, that guy is just fuel for the heart and mind, bro. So Tim Grover is one of many people that I do tap into often.
For sure. All right, cool. Yeah. And Mr. Worldwide, dude, thank you so much for being on today, bro. I truly appreciate it. I want to acknowledge you for your leadership, your vision, your commitment, your drive, everything you bring forward to the table, man. I see you knocking it out every single day. So thank you for your time and sharing those nuggets, because I think if people actually listen and apply, man, it's going to change your business, bro. So thank you so much for being on today, all right?
All day, my brother. Peace, man. Thank you.
All right, for sure. Sounds good, man. Bye. All righty. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring our next speaker on, Mr. Angel Garcia. So let me go ahead and count it off. 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, my brother? How we doing, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing outstanding, bro. Living the dream, man. Just being able to talk to all of you guys all day, bro. This has been super awesome.
That's cool. I like this event. It's pretty cool. It's just back to back, nonstop value, huh?
Yeah, nonstop value, bro. And that was one of my taglines. I'm like, nonstop value, and I wanted to make it like little 15-minute blitz sessions, right? So people can just really get, the best out of everybody. And obviously, we could spend a lot more time, but thank you, dude. Thank you so much. You're someone that I admire a lot. I think that you're one of the leaders in our industry. I mean, you're young too, bro. You're freaking super young, and you're crushing it. You're absolutely crushing it. On pace to do over 100 transactions and everything. So, tell people your story, bro. Tell people your story. Tell them who you are.
Well, I got started in real estate about a little bit over 7 years ago in 2013. That was my first year. And I got started my dad's been in real estate for over 20 years. He always did really, really well. So when I turned 18 and was old enough to start getting into the workforce, I always thought I was going to get into real estate because my dad was in real estate. And, that was kind of like, that was just in my head.
That's super cool, man.
He pushed me away from it, though. He didn't let me get started. He pushed me to school. So
it's kind of the opposite. It's
What's
kind of
that?
the opposite. It's kind of the opposite, like everybody, right? Like my dad did construction, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do construction because my dad's doing it. And you were like, my dad's doing real estate. I want to do real estate. That's like,
Yeah. Well, my dad did well. My dad did really well with it, and then for whatever reason in my head, I was just thinking this is just where I'm gonna go, right? And he actually was completely against it, especially because it was when the market had just crashed and all.
Right.
The market was like still on the low, and he pushed me completely away from real estate and sent me out to school to go get a degree and all. And I just found sales jobs and started doing really, really well. And I started doing really well, and I kept coming back with little sales awards and saying, "Hey, look, I'm like number one in the area at the club and then at the nation and everything else." And as I started going up ranks, I finally he let me come into real estate, and then slowly and surely I started moving up the sales ranks as well.
Wow. 2013 was your big debut, bro. That's freaking amazing. So tell people about like that journey so far, bro. What have you accomplished? And tell people how old you are, because I think that's super inspiring, bro.
I'm 27.
27 years old. So what have you been able to do since 2013 to now, bro?
So my first year I did 24 transactions. By my fifth year, I did over 100 transactions. I did 104 transactions on that fifth year. The following year, I did I think it was 117 or so. And then last year was a lower year actually, and it was just I burnt myself out from that previous year, so I went down to 94 transactions, I believe it was. But this year we ramped up again, and we're doing good. COVID-19 started to slow us down, but for the most part, we've done all right.
Yeah, you've been able to elevate and stay consistent. And what time do you wake up, bro? I'm asking everybody that question. What time do you wake up?
Usually I'm up around about 7 a.m. 6:30 to 7 a.m. Yeah.
Right on, bro. Yeah, a little bit later than everybody else, and everybody was like 5, 4:30, 7. And that's awesome, because I think that no matter what, no matter what time you're waking up, you can make it happen, obviously. So there you go, 7 a.m. You're still crushing it.
Yeah. Well, my schedule used to start a lot earlier. Usually when I was doing exercising. But now, realistically, it's just been 6:37. Like that's just kind of like more of the regular time. But I've always been someone that stays in the office like really, really late. Usually in the office, like it's hard to get me out past before 9 o'clock. So.
Wow. Walk people through your day, bro. What do you do on a daily basis?
So first thing in the morning, it's a role play at 7:30. So I just get a nice little role play in, and then at 8 o'clock, I usually try to be on the phones and start going from there, like either follow-ups, the first priority calls, up until about 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is now all like any follow-ups or any appointments from there. It's pretty straightforward and standard. 12 o'clock is usually a lunch type, but after 12 o'clock, like 1 o'clock and everything else, I'll usually have either some appointments or I jump back on my follow-up calls.
Right on. And what do you think, share with everybody, like, where your business comes from, like what percentages or what, like Sphere, what sort of lead generation techniques are you using?
Right now, the big majority of my business, or not the big majority, but the largest single source of my business is going to be like, let's say, past clients and Sphere. That'll hover at around about 40% over the last couple years. I do a lot of like retargeting, and I stay in front of my past clients. I do client events and stuff, so that helps out a lot. And then the balance of it is spread out. I don't have any specific sources where I get the majority of cold business or new business. It's all spread out. I'll get some from Zillow. I'll get some from my cold calls from Just Listed, Just Sold, from absentee owners, from foreclosures. Foreclosures are completely dead right now, by the way.
I know. Yeah, they're not existent right now.
Yeah, you can't. There's no motivation behind them anymore. So those aren't good. But absentee owners is still a good source. So I actually amped it up from there. Those would be the big majority ones. Everything else will just kind of go down the line. A couple transactions here and there.
Very cool.
A good portion of our business is also flip deals.
How are you finding your bro?
So I would say half of them are on the MLS.
Okay.
So half of them are on the MLS, where either another agent is bringing it to us or some of my buyer's agents. I tell my buyer's agents how to calculate deals and how much certain repairs cost, so they're able to go out and negotiate deals and basically send out contracts for me. And then once we get it accepted, then we move forward.
That's smart.
Yep.
So walk people through like what made you have the mind that you have right now? I know you had your dad as an inspiration, obviously, because he's in the business. But what did you do for yourself that you're somebody that's an achievement and performance. Like, what led you to have that kind of mindset?
I'm just really hungry, man. One of the things is my dad was a huge influence. So he would do certain things that would help motivate me. Like he would have me do like certain book reports for him. Like he had me read Think and Grow Rich, a lot of Jim Rohn books.
Wow.
Bring me into the company's meetings. I work at Park Regency Real Estate. They do like regular meetings there, and I would go into them when I was a kid. And I would just kind of learn about certain little things like fundamentals about money and fundamentals about business, things like that. So I felt like to be honest with you, I felt like I was a chained dog all the way up until I was like 18 years old. Once I was 18 years old, it felt like someone literally released like some shackles and I was off. And and I was hungry, man, like really, really hungry. Like I would look at certain goals that I had and I would like obsess over them. And I still do, right? But it's just I look back and I remember my stomach used to turn, like literally turn inside of itself, and I can feel like physically something was going on to where it's like I need to accomplish that.
Yeah, you got that burning desire, bro. That burning desire, yeah.
Massive amount of desire, and I mean like to the point where I almost got sick, and not sick from like overworking or anything like that, not that type, but just from like pure motivation where like something's happening inside of me and it's a strong physical thing that was happening in my body. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, if I sound like a crazy person. But
no, it makes sense, bro. You got so much desire within yourself and it shifts you. I mean, I understand what you're talking about, bro. And I think that a lot of the individuals that have been able to achieve a high level of success, I mean, you gotta kind of get sick, like you gotta kind of get to that point, Yeah, you gotta. One of the things for me was like I got sick of being like at one point in my life broke, and that was a driving force, right? So we have some driving forces that's going to be inspiring, they're going to pull you, and some driving forces that are going to be like you want to get out of a situation. So for you, it was just like you needed to get to that next level. So what's the vision for yourself, bro? Like what are you doing this for? Like where are you going in the next 5 years? What would you see that?
I want to grow out my investment side. So I want to start doing a lot more like flips. I also want to start buying a lot more rentals. I got a good buddy of mine, him, Jose Luis Morales.
He's on, bro. He's cheering you on right now, bro. He's on there.
I see him. So he bought a 20 unit apartment or 25 unit apartment building. And that was super inspiring because we've both been like working. We both got started at the same time. As a matter of fact, you should have him on here too, man.
I know. I told him. I messaged him. I said, bro, I'm going to have you on the next one. What's up, man?
Yeah. So he's awesome, man. But he inspired me a lot because he just bought a 25 unit apartment building not too long ago. He's been building out and everything. But that's really the goal, to be acquiring properties like that where you can do some value add and then just start focusing on net worth, right? That passive income. So that's really where the focus is. Like right now, everything I'm working for is to start looking and acquiring those types of properties.
Love it. I love that. Yeah. I mean, it's like, and a couple of the panelists actually shared about that, really you're looking out ahead, which is really smart because you don't want to be doing the same exact thing over and over and over and over and over. And as we already know, that's a definition of insanity, right? To continue to do the same thing over and over. So you got to look out in the future. That's key. That's big key.
And I appreciate you helping me out too throughout my journey as well, man. You helped me out a lot when a few years ago, before I hit that 100 deal mark, I would say that you were a pretty good piece of it because you gave me some gold nuggets on that call that we had with Jose Luis.
Dude, I was going to talk about that. I was actually in front of a Subway on the phone with you and your buddy. What's his name? It was a conference call between
it was
you
Jose
and
Luis.
Jose Luis, right?
Yeah.
And we were like, hey, what are you doing here? You guys were prodding me with questions, bro.
We had written down a bunch of questions for you, man. We prepared for it.
Wow.
Yeah, we had written down a lot of questions for you and drilled you down.
I knew you guys were going to be freaking badasses, bro. As soon as I talked to you guys, I'm like, you know what? And that's the whole thing. It's like, you guys are inquisitive. You were looking for the answers and you guys were asking the right questions. But that's what you should do as a successful person. You got to reach out to people and learn, right? Learn. And which is hence why I put together an event like this. I'm like, people to learn and tap into other people so they can learn and collaborate with one another. But dude, thank you for that. I'm glad you remember that conversation. I remember that conversation, bro. It was clear.
I still got my notes.
Yeah. Dude, I remember the first time that you also went on stage, bro. I was like, "What's up with this guy? You're gonna be on stage pretty soon." And you were at that NAREP event when I bumped into you too. I don't know if you remember that. Yeah. No, it's awesome. It's an honor. It's an honor to see your growth, bro. It's super inspiring, and you know, I could already tell where you're going because you're diligent, and one of the things that I want you to share is, what do you recommend for somebody to do, bro? Like what should somebody to do right now if somebody maybe is in a funk, maybe somebody wants to break through to the next level, somebody's just starting off, what should they be doing?
The number one thing that you got to be doing right now is linking up with other people that have really strong mindsets, right? Like linking up with like another Leo Robles, right? Like linking up with other people that are on this type of call where nothing's holding them back, right? They're pushing forward. They're continuing to go to find new ways of generating business and still succeed and thrive, right? A strong mindset will take you through anything, right? No matter how bad things are, you're going to be able to make it just fine as long as you have the right people around you, because you don't know any different.
Exactly. No, that's huge, bro. I think that is the biggest key to success, because I mean, I think as soon as this whole craziness started to happen, I was like, all right, cool. Like, things are changing. We got to go ahead and pivot and continue to move forward, because, I think, and I think this is the other intention of this whole event. It's like, we could focus on growth versus focusing on all the noise, right? There's two channels people can focus on. So what should someone be doing, like on a daily action, in addition to collaborating with individuals like myself or yourself or the other leaders that have been on this panel? What's one thing that you think that would attribute somebody's success? Like, what should they be doing right now, like on a daily basis?
Well, kind of going into like that, like meeting and masterminding with the right people type of thing, right? Like linking up with the right people. It's being extremely resourceful. So every person in here will know exactly what they need to do in their own business as long as they link up with the right people. So if you're resourceful enough, you'll be able to find out where the problems are or where the places for growth are in your business, and you'll be able to grow. Like, you won't have any issue. You'll be able to answer that question on your own. Now, obviously, just to give you something a little bit more direct, maybe something for someone to chew on, I hate just saying this part because it's so simple, but it's the truth is, you have to be prospecting. You have to go out there and look for these opportunities. There's nothing, I mean, as a daily activity that you could be doing where you can expect results back from, is you got to make your contacts, right? Now, going a step further, linking up with other people that are making contacts, so that way you can see success behind them. So that way you don't feel just only the pain of making contacts every day, but you can also live off of other people's successes by being able to see how well they're doing. That motivates you, that keeps you going.
Yes, I love that, bro. That's key. That's key, bro. And I think that the cool thing is that people are going to be able to go back and pick up some additional nuggets. You got one more minute, bro. One more minute. What is like one last like thought that you have that you want to share with people out there?
One last thought.
Last thought, bro.
Well, I guess we're sticking with mindset right now, right? So as far as mindset goes, I would suggest a couple books that kind of also talk to that same hunger, right? So I think it's Grant Cardone that talks about saying, like, feed the beast. Like feed your own beast as far as like your motivation. Whenever you're in a little bit of a funk, just keep feeding the beast, right? So look for good books. I think it was Joseph, the last guy that was just on. He mentioned a book, right? He mentioned he mentioned Tim Grover. Well, he's got a book, Relentless. That's an amazing book. One book that also ties with it is like Can't Hurt Me with David Goggins.
Oh my God, yes, that book, dude. Yes.
Be Obsessed or Be Average with Grant Cardone. Like, these are some awesome books that every person should be picking up. And then as far as linking up with the right people, if you want to learn how to like truly implement a mastermind and not just say, hey, you want to be friends, right? Like just with successful people, but actually have an action item list, hit Think and Grow Rich, and that'll give you a full blueprint to how to connect and get something out of those masterminds.
Well, dude, thank you so much for being on. I appreciate your time because I know you're busy. You're making it happen. I acknowledge you for having the mindset that you have at such a young age. You're inspiring so many people. Thank you for making the time, my brother. Appreciate you being on.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, for sure. Sounds good, bro. See you later. All righty. Our last extraordinary speaker here, and then our expo is going to be complete. We're going to bring on the stage Miss Danae. What's going on, my friend? How we doing? And there you are. I'm like, I can't see you. How you doing, Miss Danae? Hello. All right, Ms. Danae, and you are frozen, so I can't see you yet. You just have I can see your screen, but you're frozen right now. So maybe your internet connection. Let's go ahead and let me bring you back on. Alrighty, so let's give Ms. Danae a minute here, and then she'll be logging on. I'm really excited to have her on, actually. Ms. Danae, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Maybe try to log on and log back off. Log on and log log off and then log back in. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and give Danae a little bit of time here to log back in. Danae is actually a luxury broker, which is going to be a little bit a spin, right? Everybody else is more it's residential sales. She works out of Orange County. She's ranked, I think, in the top 2%. And you're going to really want to hear her story. She's an amazing human being. I've known her for many years, and you guys will be excited to hear her story. So just give it a moment, and then we'll log her back in here. So let me go ahead and message her. Let me tell her to log back in. Thank you guys for sticking with this. We still got a lot of viewers here, so I really appreciate it. Acknowledge all you guys spending this time. My intention that this has been valuable. If you guys are there, can you guys please share your top nuggets in the comment section? Just go ahead and say, hey, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. So if you guys are listening right now, if you can just type in some of the nuggets that you've got, whether it be some books, whether it be some mindset stuff, whether it be some, like, whatever it is, something that made an impact, something that resonated with any speaker, but just go ahead and drop it in the comment section, because what's going to happen is that people are going to go back and read all your comments, and then it could be one comment that somebody reads that makes a difference in their life. So I really would appreciate if you guys would submit a comment and talk to people about what you've gotten from the event so far. And one of the things that I'm also doing is that I created a private group on Facebook that is called the Socal Real Estate Expo group. So I'm going to have all the panelists, and that way you can also interact with them in a private setting. So let me go ahead and bring back Ms. Danae. Alrighty, so let me go ahead and bring it back on the screen. 3, 2, 1. Boom, Ms. Danae, how you doing? No, I can't hear you yet. I'm sorry. No audio just yet. Let me go ahead and mute and then unmute. Let's see. If you're trying to do it from your computer, the other thing you could do is do it from maybe your phone. Like, that could also work. Sometimes I think that Ricardo had done that, but your audio is not working. So let's just hang tight, guys. Ms. Danae is going to get her audio on, and I definitely want you guys to hear her. But let me go ahead and give her some time here. So let me go ahead and 1 second. She's going to be logging back in, guys. So let's give it a second here. So again, like I was mentioning earlier, go ahead and drop your comments in there, please. I like the why the hell not. Love that. That's hunger. This is the actions you take now will be the end in mind. Yes, keep the end in mind. That's huge. Let's see what else. What other comments we got in here, guys? Let's see. Drop your nuggets in the comment section, please. That way everybody can read them later. You're going to be making a massive difference for someone else as well. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. So, and earlier I was sharing with you guys a book that I'm reading. So I'm going to just share this while Danae is coming back on, The Surrender Experiment. Read this book, guys. It's incredible. Another book that I've read that massively changed my life, which is The Common Denominator with a lot of people, also with Tony Robbins. But I read the book Unlimited Power. So Unlimited Power was the book that I read at 16 that made the biggest difference in my life. So I just really encourage you guys to pick up that book. It's unfortunately not in an audible format. So make sure that you guys pick up the book Unlimited Power. That will change your life. My girlfriend actually read that book, transformed her life, transformed her business. She ended up opening up 2 additional business, and I think we only read half of the book. So it's a really, really, really powerful book. Make sure you guys pick that up, Unlimited Power. Let me see if we got any other comments in here, any questions. And for those of you that are in here, is there any questions that you guys like to ask for me to go ahead and answer for you guys? I'll be more than happy. And Ms. Danae should be logging back in. I really want you guys to hear her story, so stick around. If you have any friends that are still out there that would like to participate, send them over the link. That way they can log in and listen to this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this whole video in the private Facebook group that I created. So I'm creating a private group called Socal Real Estate Expo. It's going to be a private group. So I'm going to get all the leaders: Elmer, Ciera Sims, Hector Benavidez, Anthony Nguyen, Ricardo Acevedo, Danny Navarro, Joseph Trujillo, Angel Garcia, Danae, Rosie Rodriguez. Everybody is going to be in there. So I'm making this group just so you guys can have an opportunity to collaborate with these leaders. But if you guys seen a lot of value from this, please let everybody know. Read 2 chapters, actually 2 chapters you read. So have a servant spirit, be humble, teamwork picks up everybody else. Thank you so much, Mr. Javier. Appreciate your comment. And one of the things that I want you guys to get, I've been doing this event here for 3 hours, and I created this thing 2 weeks ago. When you guys saw the post, I created this thing 2 weeks ago, and I just got an idea. You know what? I want to inspire my community, and I want to put this thing together. And I just did it, and I just took action because I knew that something like this would make an impact, but I didn't even know how it was going to all happen. I've never seen anybody do a 3-hour event on Facebook Live, and a lot of people told me, hey, maybe this is not going to work. But, hey, I don't know if it was going to work. All I knew was that we're going to come on here, and we're going to bring you guys value. And, it's going to be a little tricky thing because we got internet connections we got to deal with sometimes. And we gotta just roll with the punches. And that's really what's going to make you successful at the end of the day. The number one thing that's going to make you successful at the end of the day is speed of implementation. Make sure you implement things on the spot. You got an idea, implement it. Because if you got the state of mind on the spot, if you implement the idea, you're going to see it through. If I had this idea 2 weeks ago and I took no action and I waited for the next day to take action, I would have probably not done this event. But because I got the idea, I immediately did a flyer for it and I pushed it out even before I had all the speakers. I said, I'm going to have 12 awesome speakers. They're going to show up to this event. And sure enough, here we are. And we're about to complete here with the last speaker. So let me go ahead and check in. It won't work. Sorry, my friend. Try to see if you can log back in, Ms. Danae. Just give it one more shot. Let me see. Log back in if you can one more time. All right, cool. So let's see. I'm telling her to log back in to see if we can make it work. Hopefully she comes back on. And if not, I will go ahead and conclude the expo for today. So let me just go ahead and go back here on the comment section. But anybody, let's see. Let's see, Ms. Danae. All righty. Let's see if it works. 3, 2, 1. All righty. Ms. Danae, can you hear me? It's coming back on. Ms. Danae. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello. Yes, maybe, no. Can you hear me? Yes. No sound just yet. So what we can do is that, you know what, Ms. Danae, we're gonna probably have to bounce off on another live, and then we'll just go ahead and do another live stream because I can't hear you here, and I have your audio turned on. Let's see, audio. Yeah, it should be working, Ms. Danae. Let's see. Go ahead and mute, unmute. Yeah, it's not working. Not working. Well, Ms. Danae, we got to do this again. Maybe if you want to, like, what if we just jump on the regular Facebook Live? Maybe that's another way to do it. If you want to do that, right? Let me go ahead and do that. All right, guys. So I'm gonna end this session and see if I can get back on social on Facebook Live. But that'll conclude the event for today, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll call Danae, and if I can get back on, I'll go ahead and log back on. But my intention of creating this thing was to bring you guys value. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you took a lot of notes and made this information go ahead and impact your business in a positive way. Stay focused on your business. Stay focused on what you want to create. Anything is possible, as you guys already noticed. A lot of the leaders here went through a lot of tough times to get where they were. So no matter what, if you're going through a hard time, a rough patch, if you feel lost, understand that you can focus on what you want and you can create it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and tune out. Thank you guys for the opportunity. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and God bless everybody.